well, enough
So
promotion stuff.
Supporting each other's streams. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. But enough promotional stuff and all that jazz. I think it's time that we all, oh boy, gather around the table and let me tell you all a Voden fable. To gather around for the tale of these survivors, the fable of a looming corruption, and that of the mysteries below. For this be the infamous tale of the secrets within the sands, and the legendary tale of the Soulbound. We pick back up on our tale as we look towards Ilva and Phoebe, bloodied amongst the sands, this demonic mark taking hold of their psyche and will. They'd be rendered severely wounded, however, after healing them with druidic and artificer magics. The two would recall their dreams, and upon explanation, the Hanu and Bovi von Bovi would provide insight on what potentially had happened. Explaining the nature of an advanced monk and shinobi technique in the dream plane, he'd go on about a technique known as domain expansion, where individuals could be trapped in lucid dreams, controlled by an individual, and forced to deal with pain in the material and metaphysical planes of the world. Kaio would provide insight and eventually come to the conclusion that the individual responsible was an Oni yokai, seeking either Ilva or Phoebe for something they had done in the past. Regardless, they'd have to keep their eyes on the back of their heads as our heroes would look into establishing rooms and even accidentally start worker unions amongst the builder spirits. With jovial arguments on who would sleep where, eventually the bedding situations were decided, and Sirius and Nuna would even actually strike the likes of an audience with the water elemental queen of the Oasis. Before they could earn her audience, however, the heroes would notice an approaching Sandstorm, looking to decimate their base of operations. Will they survive the storm, or will they suffer from cabin fever and immediately get burned down with the likes of the sands and even the likes of the hot sun from afar? Their fates will be decided in session 2 of Secrets in the Sands. As said, here we go, everybody. Here we go. Alright. So, as we pick back up where we left off, we will turn back to the likes of the Oasis map and more. Alright, in the meantime, we'll just have that map load up. So, and also I guess I'll give you guys a little bit of ambience, cause it's getting bad right now.
Oh no.
Alright. Yeah. At this point, as we return back to our heroes inside their homes, as they're storing the likes of all of their materials inside their base, you look over towards the approaching sandstorm from afar, and after a bit of minutes passing, eventually the sandstorm begins to crash into the likes of your entire establishment, your base. Each and every one of you stand inside your base of operations, crowding all around with the materials inside into your opposing houses. That said, which house are each of you present in at the moment? Are you all crowding around in the same house, or are you all in different houses while the storm is hitting? Choice is yours.
I will be stationed. Oh, I'll be stationed in the house where my bed is located.
You got it.
Yeah,
Farmer's over there.
Yeah, it was like kind of same like.
All right. And you get to pick your poison. All right. Which one of you gets Kaio? Which one of you gets Bovi?
I want Kaio. I really,
no, we got
really.
Kaio. We got Kaio. I need something.
No, I got Kaio. He's my Sundere. Get your own anime. No,
I have RP to do.
Then you just come over to our house and then you can talk to Kaio.
If I could interject, this feels less like people want Kaio and more like people don't want
Bovi.
I mean, literally, if I get either of them, shit's gonna happen. So, like,
he's fine. He can fly.
Bovi's fine. He can fly. Both of them can fly, actually. Actually, wait, no. Bovi can't fly. He can't fly.
Damn it.
But the choice is yours. I mean, if you really want, you could just like full house this shit and just have everybody in the same house. Choice is yours.
Roll for it.
Oh, no.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. All right. So am I rolling, like, am I doing rock, paper, scissors between you two? Wait, how's this working? I mean, I'll tell you what, Sirius and Phoebe, rock, paper, scissors, right now on your face cams. Let's do this.
Best 2 out of 3, let's go!
Woo!
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh,
Can we have
Ah!
Don't work like this.
Roll for it. Roll for it.
Roll off. Rollies.
We tried rock, paper, scissors, and this is what it's got us. All right, rollies. 18 for Animus. Raven, you gotta beat it. 18.
Lame!
Oh.
All right, Kaio is with Sirius for the time being. I mean, Phoebe, if you really want to just be in the room with Kreelan and everybody, that's up to you.
I don't. That wasn't the point. No.
All right, well. Hello, Phoebe.
Why did he say it like that?
I had to do it in like the best fucking voice possible. Anyways, that's it. Yeah, Bovie will be chilling. He'll probably just bounce between both of them. You think a sandstorm is gonna stop Bovie? You're out of your minds. But that said, we return and we start off the likes of. Actually, is there any individual who wants to start us off with today? Or if not, I'll just roll for it to see which house we look into at the beginning.
Where's that roleplay, Animus?
Oh, well, I want you guys to go first if you want.
Why?
This is my gift for winning.
What?
Whoa!
It may be your gift, but it's my pleasure. To watch to see what happens.
All right. Well, if that's the case, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to send you guys over to house 1. All right, and let me go grab a Bovie Von Bovie who is chilling in the likes of this place. So as we look over, oh, that's not a token. What the hell? There he is.
Dario.
Exactly.
So as we look back into the fray, his hit points or whatever is messed up, but I'll change it later. We look towards these individuals. They seem to be sort of residing in the likes of their respective rooms or even outside in the sort of living area. At this moment in time, as the sands begin to pour into, or almost pour into the likes of your buildings, as you don't necessarily really have windows, but I assume that you tried to use your best to either A, board up the windows, or B, like, figure out a way how to pretty much stop the sand from getting inside of your house. I'm assuming that you guys would have took the precautions to do so. Or you would have at least asked the builder spirits to do so.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all had the foresight, yes.
Oh,
We
boy.
had windows.
Yes, these are all windows in your houses. They're not just curtains to
No,
walls.
I was making a joke. I was joking.
I thought those were sandbags, honestly. I was like, oh, we prepared. Okay.
Okay, I gotcha. But anyways, Sail, Ilva, and Phoebe, what are the three of you all doing inside this house? Ilva, you've been kind of inside your room for a long while. You were able to hear at least the likes of all the conversations outside your room, but after the bit of the sandstorm, what are you doing now?
I'm gonna open up the blinds. Is the sandstorm open or happening right now?
We immediately just get hit with a fucking a barrage of sand. Now, if you weren't necessarily wearing a blindfold, I'd probably make you make a Constitution saving throw or go blind.
Oh
but
my goodness.
it gets over a bit of your, it gets a little bit over your bed. Not anything too crazy, but it's not good.
We're just gonna close those back up.
Easy enough.
The power
is
of
fine.
curtains.
Oh, also, is your character supposed to be badly injured? Did you? Oh, I don't think you
I
healed
chose
yourself
not
afterwards.
to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I chose not to.
I'll say this: you guys would have gotten a short rest, but by the span of like last session, if you guys wanted to.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, because
I
you guys
will
didn't do anything really.
I'll take one.
All right. So, as said, as you look about, it seems to be that the sandstorm definitely is here in full. You're looking about for just a brief split second that you didn't find much, but your sight was definitely how you say hindered for sure. Not really being able to see past yourself or past about 30 feet ish. That said, Elva, while you're doing all that, what about you, Zale? Are you doing anything of the sorts? You can see occasionally as a builder spirit or two is heading into the likes of your room every now and again to work on the little bit of maintenance repairs and all the sort of additions that you guys requested, but they're not finished with it just yet. Is there anything you're doing?
Builder spirit comes in, he's just gonna give it a pat on the head. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank
Like
you.
every time, every single one, they get head pat.
Oh wait, hold on. That's a big boy. Hold on. They are not that
Oh,
huge. That is a big boy.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Well, Billroy really juiced up over the last session.
Oh, actually, you know what? No,
That's
actually,
what
this guy
those
is.
union dues will do.
Actually, no. This actually is a bigger builder spirit. You do see as he is eventually one sort of individual. He begins to fly on in. Oh, excuse me, sir, if I could.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Thank you. And you see as he begins to just sort of place down a massive sort of mirror for the likes of Zale. You see as he begins to start hammering in the nails. This will be just a moment, if you could. And you see he just starts bending down and trying to sort of hammer in a little bit more of the fucking nails and everything. The whole 9 yards. It's loud and it is obnoxious.
I'm fine with this.
Yeah. Don't worry. Everything will be all fine. Just gotta wait a little bit. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, Sensei, quick question. I assume Zale dragged the chest in his house. I assume it's in here, right?
The chest. Yeah, I mean, if you want to. I don't think there's any interjections with that. Alright.
Okay. Might as well. You know,
Sure thing.
might as well try.
So, you see the likes of a small sort of chest, that was kind of brought in from the likes of, I believe, Bovie's sort of, how you say, hammock, there we go. And as you begin to look over towards it, it obviously is locked as you try to open it, but if you guys had any lock-picking skills or tools, it would make this a lot easier, but you can always try to break it open or try to pick the lock anyways without lock-picking tools.
I remember you said one time that I could just try with my dagger.
Yeah, it would just be a dexterity check, but you won't. The DC will be harder.
You know, might as well try. We got nothing to do.
All right, go for it. Make a dexterity check.
It will explode or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. Which, wow, that's really bad.
12?
It's not that bad.
12. You try to pick the lock as much as you possibly can, but you're not really having too much of luck. It's definitely taking a little bit more time, and you have to worry about, like, trying to be able to fit the likes of the dagger into this small sort of compartment, but it's not really working for you.
Damn it. Why did my dagger have to be so cool and not be able to fit in small spaces easily? Why did it make it so curvy? Phoebe? Is your dagger straight and, like, not...
Oh, no, it's not straight. No. No.
Can I see it?
Get the slight giggle from Animus.
I get it.
Yeah.
I show him my dagger, like, but I'm not gonna let him hold it. I just show him.
Easy enough. You pull it out and it has a bit of blood on it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Always blood.
It's a cursed item, the dagger that is always conspicuously bloodied.
Caught red-handed.
But there is a dagger there. You just see as Phoebe just showcases it off towards you, not letting you hold the likes of the dagger though.
What do you want to try?
Try what? What are we doing?
We're trying to lockpick a chest without lockpicks.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's totally my thing. I'll give it a try.
You act like it's my thing either. I failed horribly, so you try now.
Cool.
Ovi whispers something to himself. Zale and Phoebe make perception checks for hearing.
Damn it! Damn it!
I knew you were gonna ask.
I have to.
No.
Ha! I win anyway.
20. So as Phoebe is just like, yeah, okay, I'll help you out. Bovie just whispers to himself and is just saying, remember, you can do this. Just gonna add another thing to the list. Lock picking and breaking and entering. And you see as he just has a little bit of a scroll off to the side, they just hides a little bit. That's it. That's all you hear.
I don't hear that.
Zale's gonna snicker to himself. He's like, okay, come on, do it. Come on.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You'll see as Nuna will just eventually walk over, well, we'll kind of slither over and say, "Hey, can I help? Can I help?"
Yeah, you wanna like slither in there or something? What are you trying to do here?
I mean, I can. I mean, I was just, you can just tell me what to do, and you know, I just want to help out and do something.
All right, let's go. Get in there.
It's really cool in here. I think I see armor.
Okay, now get me in there.
Okay. She's gonna give you the help action. All right, you have advantage.
Wait, what do I roll?
This is dexterity.
Dex. Yeah, I'm really good at that.
You murder lots of people. You're great at this.
It's
Wait,
perfect
12 and then
One more time.
fucking 11. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's not happening. You see as you're trying to pick the legs of the lock with the dagger, and you just you hear Nuna just saying, "Oh, you're gonna stab me! Watch out!"
Oh, fuck!
And at this point, you're kind of like a little bit too worried of like accidentally stabbing Nuna, and it's just you're not really getting anywhere right now.
Okay, get back out. Just come back here.
You'll see as she slithers out of the chest and appears once more.
Wait, what was in there?
So it was really, really dark, but I think I saw some armor. I saw a lot of I think money. Yeah,
I like money.
Cool. I think it was like shiny yellow thing. I think I don't know what it is, but anyways, I think it was gold, but I could be wrong. It could have been something else. And that's really what I saw. There was something sharp in there, but I kind of didn't want to, poke around at and get stabbed or something. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and before you asked where I found this, it was next to a dead guy.
Wait, where? What? Was I there?
No.
Oh.
No, I went to get it myself.
Was I there?
Okay.
Was I there? Where? No, you were. No, it was next to this dead guy. It had a journal too. I think I forgot to read it.
But isn't that the question, Phoebe? Where were you exactly last night?
Shut the fuck up, Obi.
Okay, fine. Very well. That's it.
Okay, then. Yeah, I found a two corpse, had a journal. I think I might have it. I might. I don't remember reading it. I had a flashback while reading it, so I didn't really remember what was in it.
If you wanna read it again, you can.
I would love to.
All right.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
It's in my pocket.
So, roughly what it says, because this is from a month or so ago, you would pretty much read off the likes of it saying that this individual had been tracking this armor for a long while, and that this armor specifically was sort of stored here by the Kalani Council, even. That was roughly kind of the general idea what it said. Whoever this was, they were trying to get the thing open, but they just straight up couldn't, and then obviously corpses there, so you can assume what happened.
Okay, I'm going to assume the chest has armor in it. The Kalani Council actually stored this armor. So, yeah. We should get it open. I don't know. I don't use armor, but someone could. Oh, hi, Ilva. We're trying to get a dead man's chest open. You want help?
Oh my god. Explain this over one more time for everybody else who didn't read it.
So while all that shenanigans is happening outside, basically I just took off all my armor and stuff like that and put it to the side, as well as mended my poor curtain that sand flew in it, and I just wanted to make it pretty again, so I mended the curtain.
Pretty again.
Easy enough. You look over and you look to see Zale and Phoebe and Nuna trying to get this chest open. What are you doing?
Does the chest look like it's older, or is it relatively newer in terms of weathering?
In terms of weathering, not too long ago. Yeah, not too long. Probably roughly maybe couple weeks or so. Not anything like months or years or anything like that.
Have you guys tried opening it? I mean, I imagine you guys have. Do you guys have like a lockpick?
We don't, so that's unfortunately the circumstance we are in. We're trying to use our daggers, but it's not working. There's
Your
armor
daggers
and-
for a chest lock.
Look, we don't really have anything else. So.
Well, I also got Nuna in there.
What about you can, well, I see two different things you could do. One, the most obvious thing, and she's just gonna like turn her head just like this. You could ask that big builder spirit if you want to maybe make you one. Or if we're really gonna be cheap in materials, we could try Phoebe's earrings.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I have earrings. So does Zale have earrings?
Does Sirius have earrings?
Sirius does have earrings. Zale, I don't know.
He does actually have one on his left.
I'm just gonna go up close to Zale. Is it like a hoop? Is it? Or we look
It's
at
a
it?
hoop, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Bovie, do you got any long jewelry?
Jewelry. You'll see as he literally just looks towards. You look towards this person. This man is covered in jewelry, my friends. Hold on. Let me. Sadly, I can't get his art to show, but I will show basically what's all on Bovie's person, roughly. Character art. Show players. There you go. That is roughly what Bovie's rocking right now.
Yo, I want. I already know what I want.
Oh.
Hey, Bovie.
Huh?
I just want to say that I really like you. Great companion so far.
Make a persuasion or deception check. Okay. Alright. He's stupid, but I don't know if he's that stupid.
Oh god.
Insight, where is it? Never mind, he's that stupid.
Damn.
You'll see as his eyes go wide like a child. He's like, really?
Super really. I know we've had our issues in the past. I just want to say that you've definitely been a help to myself and to the rest of the group, even though at times we can be a little hostile. I'll be the first to admit. But as you can see, I'm going to point towards Phoebe and Zell. As you can see there, they're trying to use a dagger to open a chest. And I mean, the dagger is obviously a dagger with just a little, lock thing. I really doubt it was going to work. So we need So we need something, a little bit longer, to really like dig in there and kind of like, flip it, kind of like a lockpick. But I have a feeling that I'm going to be honest with you, Bovie, we're going to be a little cheap here. With, the Sandstorm out there and us trying to get our bearings where we're at, I don't think it's maybe wise to use a material source to make this lockpick. It definitely would be easier, but, we got to work with what we have sometimes, So
You're right. Resourcefulness, of course.
Exactly. And I know you're a man of that too, because when we found you, you were living on your own, right? And you managed to live with just coconuts and trees and stuff like that. Super.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm glad someone appreciated it.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
So, and then she's just going to look down. So you have like these toe earring piercing things. They're a little bit longer. They look gold.
I do. I do. Wait, I remember.
Yeah.
It was this someone made who, and you see as he's just like trying to recall and think. I don't really know where I got these actually.
That's cool. You know what? Hey, it suits you awesomely. I was just curious if we could maybe borrow both of them, because typically you need two to really make it like a lockpick function, and I think they're just long enough that it might just work.
Huh. I think that
And
I can make a
just
sacrifice for this.
I love that. Perfect. And just so you know, I am one with the divines, so if anything does happen to your jewelry, don't worry that I can fix it for you.
You do believe in God.
Exactly.
You can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I will help and I will assist. It may be painful. It may be a sacrifice, but that is one I'm willing to make. Come on,
Absolutely.
Wait,
Let's go.
painful.
You'll see as
Big
you'll
like,
see
wow.
as he will begin to just take the likes of his jewelry out just haphazardly, not really knowing how to do it at all. Nearly breaks his toe in the process. Ow! Here you go.
Don't worry. We can heal anything that happens. Now, but we have a question for you. You know, you are a Hanu. Would you say that you, when you look at me and you look at yourself, would you say that you would feel more dexterous in your hands to maybe maneuver? Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So how about this?
I'm
You know,
right here.
we'll work. Yeah. Listen, this is me and a Bobby time here. Okay.
Yes. See, butt out
Yeah.
AB conversation.
Yeah, exactly. As someone who is, you know, lucky enough to be blessed by a divine, let me assist you in getting this work.
Assist
put
me.
my
Does that
hand-
mean I'm going to become a god?
Maybe in the future, if we keep working together, there's always a possibility. I won't say no to that. But I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder, and you should feel a nice warmth. What that means is you're getting the guidance from the divine.
From extraterrestrial forces, I see.
Less alien, you know, but but I like where your head's at.
Oh, my bad. Terrestrial forces.
There we go.
Oh my god.
This fucking guy, dude.
It's so hard to listen to.
I said, you give him guidance, he's gonna try to pick the lock. As this happens, roll a d4, Ilva. Let's see if the League of Rashid is in full effect today. 4?
Wow.
Alright, let's see. Hold on, might be enough. 12 plus 4, or plus the 4? 16? That'll beat the DC of 15. By the gods, I've done it! You'll see as you
truly gifted.
You'll see as eventually
I'm
the lock will
literally
begin
crying.
to actually drop for a brief moment in time, and as that happens, you see as it falls forth. Do you guys open it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you open it. Everybody make a Constitution saving throw. All right.
That's
Meanwhile,
okay.
as we go back to the other group, shit! No one checked
Damn,
it
you
for
knew that?
traps. Oh my god! All
That
right.
was an oversight.
Yep, just a little
No.
Oh wait, we're rolling them now. Okay. Okay.
bit. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Why can't I
Alright.
get to my? Okay, there's my card.
And where is Sirius? If I can grab the big
Oh,
earball boy. Boop.
Can you check your DMs real quick, please?
Sure. I gotta check it on my phone. I can't check it on stream. All right. That said, real quickly, as you guys kind of hear a little bit of a yell out, shit! What's happening over here in this sort of house over to the side? You see, as
there goes
Kai was kind of
William.
just looking over at all the aesthetics and more, he's considering whether he should sit down or whether he should get ready to leave or not. But what are the rest of you doing?
It seems everyone is accounted for from that noise.
I hope they're not doing anything too wild. At least everyone's indoors. Don't want anyone in the this is the sands. And Sirius is gonna take a seat in the throw pillows.
Farmer, did your voice change or something?
Oh, one moment here.
It seems a lot deeper than usual.
Calibrating. Calibrating.
What's going on?
Calibrating?
It's too hot. Oh god.
Calibrating?
What are they doing?
Give them a second.
Okay.
I believe this. Wait, maybe.
I think you're onto something.
Yes.
No,
I think
too far.
I've determined. No.
Nope.
No. Yes.
That sounded more familiar.
Oh, well.
And they're back.
This seems to be the setting that I remember.
Well, is that always a thing that happens, or is this something new?
I have no idea.
Here. Also, Animus, if you could actually link me your character sheet. Actually, no, I'll pull it up on my end. Yeah, it's acting up for some
in the
reason.
meantime, come, everyone, have a seat. Let us wait out the sandstorm here. Wait.
You're gonna see me. You're gonna see me like just power in standby mode for a moment, and you're gonna see my eyes start blinking as it tries to reassess my voice settings. And it'll be just a few moments.
I guess it wouldn't be that quickly that you. Alright, you glitching out. How about?
There is no response. He is just.
I just go over real quick and see the farmer just. Hello?
I'm sorry, I seem to have gotten sand in my chassis. Allow me to do some self-cleaning. It will take just a few moments.
Okay, take your time. Well, back to seating.
I don't know why it's acting up. I'm trying to import your thing, but it's not really letting me. Whatever.
no.
It's saying
Whose
your
thing?
Sirius's
My character
character sheet. I'm trying to import it, but it's saying like a glitch of like, oh yeah, you can't import it because his token is different than his normal token, which doesn't make much sense. Unable to determine file URL. I'll figure something out here. I'll probably just make another Sirius and then drag in. All right, I don't know what that's about. Well, in the meantime, you guys can talk amongst yourself while I'm fixing this. Sorry about that, guys.
I hope the sandstorm does not last too long.
I hope that it doesn't either, but I do need to get going soon. Hopefully after the sandstorm, then I can make my departure. I don't really have much of an interest in talking to a water spirit, to be honest.
Understand. For the most part, they last very long? Only just a couple of hours, or no days even.
If that's the case, then, well, that should be best. Do you know if anything
Already
ever...
back on.
Oh god, that
Hello?
scared me.
This seems to be the optimal setting.
Welcome back, farmer. Please don't do that again, that scared me. And I don't get scared often. You can see it in my face. As his face is just blank.
Non-threatening
I
Kaio.
apologize.
That said, as this is beginning to happen, you'll see as Kreelan begins to start wandering over towards the likes of or into a sort of room. I believe it's, we decided on this one, for Kreelan. And you see as he begins to just sort of look over towards the window for a brief moment. Looking as if he's getting ready to open it for a brief moment.
Kind of wander over, I guess.
Yeah, he doesn't really say much of anything. He just kind of goes about, he's been quiet this entire time, not really doing anything, kind of just lost, staring into space for a brief moment. You look over and you go around the corner and you see as Kreelan begins to just slowly open the likes of the curtains, and then you just see just a cacophony, an explosion of black feathers as he is just taken through the likes of the window. You see as the window itself is sort of blowing forth the likes of the sand, the entire room is being filled up with sand at this brief moment in time. What are you, Serious Farmer, what are you two doing?
Sirius just gotta quickly... Fuck, I didn't put that in.
Oh,
Sirius is gonna quickly run over and close the window.
Alright, as you close the window, you try to shut it forth as much as you possibly can. You look outside and you see a massive sort of individual with a black top hat and a sort of long dark cloak with a sack over the likes of their back, like over their shoulder, and sort of fighting and trying to claw their way out. You can see Kreelan, but you overlook and you see the Keeper, almost like the Grinch who stole Christmas, just look back at you, tip his hat in the sandstorm, and then just fucking sprint off into this desert.
Shit in my eyes. It's the bird net!
Oh no!
That's
It
it.
happened
Nah.
again.
Oh no!
I know. I think that was the keeper. That I think I couldn't really see between the sandstorm. Quickly close this up. It just.
Easy enough. You guys are able to close the likes of the room and establishment. And the sand is still here, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Definitely need to get this cleaned. Hopefully, Builder Spirits can do that, or maybe even yourselves can.
I'm gonna start using like my hand in the typical fashion of farmer is going to fold over, and then a broom is gonna pop out, and I'm gonna start sweeping, and I'm also gonna be using my mage hand to start sweeping.
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna say, stand by. I can take care of this mess.
Oh God! Let me not be in your way then. Thank you, Farmer.
You are not in my way, but you are leaving sand tracks out of the room.
Oh
I
goodness!
would recommend you stomp your boots before you leave.
It's serious. Just kind of tentatively, kind of shake his foot. Hopefully, and, like, then just start vigorously shaking his cloak and stuff, and just.
It's just more sand is just sort of pouring out everywhere. It's in the living room at this point.
No need to worry extensively. This stuff seems to get everywhere. We will likely have to dust once the sandstorm is finished.
Understood. Oh, I do not really like the sands here.
I said. As this is sort of happening, I think I also figured out the issue. It's gonna be a little bit of a wonky glitch, but I think I can change it. Hopefully it doesn't restart the server whenever I do it, but I think I know what to do here.
My body's ready.
Oh boy. So I think I just changed this. We're gonna hope. Select directory. That's not that. Alright, well, it's gonna take a bit. So is there anything else you two are doing off to the side, or no?
I'm doing cleaning, and that is going to be my activity, but as soon as I'm finished, I will pop into whatever is going on in the other room.
You got it.
So I'm not trying to track out sand to the living room. I'm going to look out the door and kind of motion over for Kyle.
Alright, easy enough.
Kyle, with the, your journey back, is there any more particulars you need to take care of on your way, or will they be all handled once you made your destination?
Any sort of tasks that I need to take care of, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
You'll see as he thinks for a brief moment. Well, I know the likes of Odin is very dangerous, and even more dangerous when you're going alone. But from what we could see, I'm not the most trusting of individuals. And that idea has been hammered home with the likes of the one individual that we dealt with trying to kill Phoebe earlier. But hopefully I'll try my best to stay away from people, but if I can't help it, I can't help it. Possibly finding anything to help defend myself would be ideal, but if not, then it is fine.
You desire disability in its form of a tool, or some sort of anything, really?
I think not necessarily on the way there, but I think that one of the biggest issues that I'm going to have to come across is traveling the different regions. Whenever you travel from, or whenever we had to travel from the Forbidden Expanse, or from Jaded Dragon Valley to the Forbidden Expanse, it was through the likes of a bridge, but said bridge was festering with the likes of the Starry Ones. The individual, or we barely able to get past that area, but hopefully they won't really pay me too much attention if I can fly underneath them. or fly underneath the bridge. Unless you have some way of being able to hide yourself, invisibility or anything of the sorts. Unless there may be an ability I could learn, then I'm probably just going to have to chance it.
The most. It is hard to say for one such cloaking capability that I have, but it's more innate. It's hard to really explain, as it's more of a natural thing. Sort of like a camouflage, if you will. And I kind of invoke the furball ability.
Yeah.
And I literally just go invisible.
You see, as Sirius begins to vanish, before eventually, if you wanted to, you could stay either invisible or return back to visibility. But Kaya will say that would be useful, but.
All you see is the bits of falling sand coming from Sirius's position.
Sirius, my optics do not detect you, but I still detect a heat signature. Where are you?
But I'm still here, and it only lasts for 6 seconds, so it will just come back. It's just more of a defense mechanism, if anything, from my people. Maybe if you can somehow study it, it could maybe invoke something of your own, or maybe gather the basis of it.
I don't know. I don't know if I have time to, or if I would have enough time to be able to learn such a thing, but is there a point in trying at least? Oh no, probably not.
Point? Actually, let me see about, do I actually know invisibility?
I don't know if that's a druid thing. You might, who knows?
Nope.
I'm trying my hardest to import this thing. Will it work? It might. Seems like it's working.
Hoggers?
Fog? Is fetching, adding items to character? It fucking worked. God damn, I'm a genius.
Nice.
I'm all in, guys!
Look at that character sheet. Look at the spells. Look at the moves. Look at the plays.
My inventory, my spells. I can't hold them all.
I said, yeah. Real quick, before we get started, I needed to, talk to probably one of the others for a bit. We could, at least we built the house is not too far. Does anybody want to accompany me?
I've seen it after the sandstorm is lifted.
Well, I mean, it's only just walking a couple of steps.
While that may be the case, sandstorms and storms with minimal visibility have the chance to be dangerous, if not deadly, even just a few meters from the front door. Caution should be advised. Perhaps utilizing rope.
That is fair.
It's just like a deep
Does anybody have a rope?
I hate you.
I'm literally gonna look around, and I'm actually gonna I'm gonna grab the curtains.
No, no, no.
Oh no, you grabbed the curtains?
Oh, don't do that.
And I'm gonna start spinning it in sort of a tighter, not actually knot it, but like just kind of make it tighter and be like,
this can certainly suffice.
Hold on, real quick, farmer. And unless you guys are like placing like crates or something, but past this window, the curtain is basically like you have it like sort of placed, or a couple of sort of objects sort of placed by the curtain to sort of make sure no sand like gets past it. If you take this curtain down, bro, sand is gonna go everywhere in Creelan's room.
I guess the doors are for.
Hey, comedy crash moment.
Oh dear. I got
And
sand
it's-
everywhere. Oh dear.
The sand's up to your ankles now at this point.
How about the window?
It's just filling to the brim at this point. Are you guys just letting the window?
I am closing said window.
With what? He has the curtain.
Wait. Oh, the curtains are gone. Oh shit.
Wait. There's no actual window. The curtain is the only
No,
thing.
you guys are in the Stone Age, barely. It's a matter, like it's fucking, like it's a miracle the fact that you guys have tables and beds.
Well,
even.
if I knew that, okay, so I would have known that if I was.
Yeah, you know that. That's what I was asking.
So I wouldn't have done that. No.
Okay. Yeah, just in case. So yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna run over. I'm actually gonna take the quilt off of my bed instead, and I'm gonna bring it over and I'll be like,
Here, this will suffice.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then this will have to do. Come on, stand together.
Okay.
All right. So the three individuals, you all begin to start wrapping yourselves in the likes or through the likes of these sort of sheets and tapestries, and eventually you head outside into the oasis. All right, let's look at this map. Hopefully, it'll load, or the storm will begin to render for a brief moment in time. Now, granted, again, you only have to go a couple of steps, but it's still a couple of steps that's definitely dangerous. You look over, and at this point, most of the builder spirits, they're kind of like, they're trying their best to build, but for the most part, there's not really many here. You look over and you see as the sandstorm begins to pick up, as now you're feeling the heavy brunt of it, but you guys can try to push through as much as you guys can. If you step foot, let me know. Or step foot outside, let me know. Oh, really in here anymore.
I do believe that's the point of this, is
All right.
for us to step foot outside.
Well, you guys do, and at this point, you only have the likes of the ropes. I need each and every single one of you, except Farmer, because you don't need to breathe, to make a Constitution saving throw. Alright, and then I need one for Kaio. Oop, he's not proficient in that. Save and throw for Kaio. He gets a 13 for now. He's okay. Serious, with you kind of used to being in the likes of the desert beforehand. You kind of know a little bit of what to do kind of in the likes of a sandstorm. Use a little bit of your sort of, how do you say, not bandana, what is it called? The thing around your neck, I can't think of it at the moment. Not a scarf. I can't. Cloth? Sure, we'll call it a cloth. Use the cloth around your neck and begin to pull over the likes of your face to kind of block the likes of the sand getting into your nose or mouth. You kind of try to shield your eyes as much as you possibly can, and eventually you're able to make your way a couple of steps into the likes of the other establishment, the other building. As this happens, return over to here as, oh boy. Here we go with this. All right, what were your Constitution saving throws from earlier, everybody?
Not good.
9.
7?
9, a 7, and then, oh no. What did you get, Phoebe? Oh, another 7. Oh, God. All right, let's see if Bovie's a little bit better. Bovie, I gotta have his other character sheet out at the same time. It's so weird. All right, con
My
save.
bad, guys. This is my fault. I suggested.
And 11. So,
I'm sorry.
that will all fail. You guys take, how much was it? 3d4 poison damage, and you are poisoned for 1 minute.
Wait. Phoebe is immune to poison. Ha ha.
I don't think she's immune. I think she's resistant. No, she's immune. She's immune. Okay.
Yeah, I'm snack.
Oh yeah, this is, you see as the poison gas enters your face and it's like, neat. Everybody else, you take 8 points of poison damage.
Oh god. This
Actually,
is
isn't Bovie immune? Or not immune, but like resistant? Because he's, no. I could have swore Drunken Fist monks get something for poison. Maybe they
Monks get down to higher level.
No, it was more like the Drunken Fist one specifically, but I guess not. Oh, that said, as you guys begin to enter into the fray, oh, your tokens are fucking massive, Jesus. You look over and there's just a noxious gas forming in the likes of the build or into the sort of building, but eventually it begins to dissipate and more, and your allies are not necessarily looking the greatest. Phoebe's fine though.
Noxious gas detected in the
Please
air.
don't get close. Oh, God. God, my voice hurts from doing that.
I imagine he says that in character as well.
Yeah.
What happened?
Are you okay?
Just.
Just
oh.
dandy.
Yeah, I'm great actually. What was that?
Lucky.
Hey, what is this gas?
Poison.
We're talking now.
And not the good kind.
Oh,
But
no.
it's
Ah,
good.
shit. Cover
It's good.
face.
Oh, I thought it was
boy.
dissipated already.
Anywho, so what's inside this thing?
Armor.
No, okay. As you guys look inside, vision terrible and more, but you
I have a
look.
blindfold.
Oh yeah, my bad, my apologies.
I'm already blind.
But you would see as you find yourself one set of chainmail armor, another set of
Wow.
studded leather armor,
Wow.
and a strange scimitar that seems to glow slightly, as well as or a lot of gold pieces coming out to about 120 gold.
We're rich.
Let's
We're
go.
rich. Okay, this stuff looks really cool, but I wouldn't touch it yet.
Wow, a wealthy amount for being in a place without an economy.
Dead people are the greatest.
Must have been their secret cove.
The Kalani Council hid this. They must have a lot of money.
I would hope
for
that at least the economy would be something. Oh god, it's romantic Kaio Samada. Oh no,
Oh,
we're
no.
gonna change that. No, no.
Oh,
No.
not here,
Oh
not
god,
now.
thank you 8-bit community for the
Holy
37
shit.
person raid. Jeez. Hello.
Woo!
Hey, welcome raiders. Welcome.
Let's go.
Welcome to the stream. But at this point, you'd see as Kaio would look over and look towards the gold pieces. From what I could tell, at least the Ishtarans, they would use gold still, or other jade pieces. But
I'm sorry, the Ishtar.
what happened to you? And he'll look over towards Zale.
Gas.
So much gas.
I see. Well, unfortunate. I'm so sorry for you. Just see as Kyle is gonna just take a seat over here.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Kaio. It smells kind of nice. Like you know, when you're
Yeah,
cleaning
feel bad.
something.
Lysol.
Like Lysol.
You just
like,
sprayed so much Lysol and it just gets in your mouth.
like a fragrance or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I see. You know, here, actually, no, he doesn't have that immunity. I was gonna say, doesn't he have the oculi poison thing? Nah, he has fire,
Yes,
not poison.
Fire.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing in his boss fight. That counted my whole play style for a bit.
It was not fun. It was not okay. But that being said, you'll see as Nuna is looking over, and at this point, she's gonna start trying to slither a little bit back and kind of up a little bit amongst your sort of arm or leg, and then up to your arm, Phoebe. That said,
Tickles.
Showcase.
wait, a showcase join. Wait, showcase join. Wait, is that Kreelan?
Kreelan.
Bird.
Bird?
Bird.
Bird.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
bird.
sand in your room.
Chat,
I'm sorry.
everybody stand still. We might have a bird. We're waiting. They're muted. Hold.
I'm holding. I'm pogging.
I said hold, goddammit! Okay, alright. They'll talk when they talk. Alright, that said, as this is sort of happening, Nuna will mention and just say, so, what's the plan right now? So are we just all having like a party in here? What's going on?
I think we should do a drinking game without drinks.
What does that mean?
I mean, just tell each other, things about ourselves.
What's the fun
Yeah,
in
we're
that?
doing
Povey would just say.
icebreakers.
Go ahead, Farmer.
Oh, I have a request. I noticed that there were 2 forms of armor in that receptacle.
Sorry, farmer. I already dibs them.
Well, as you might be able to see, and you may have witnessed, I have had, despite my metallic chassis, the minimum amount of resistance amongst the rest of you.
Fleshy bit things win again.
What?
That does not seem functionally sound.
I would just want to touch that for now until we really identify it. Who knows? Maybe they'll fucking blow up.
Blow up again and kind of looks towards it and... Can I get a read on any of the items here? See if any of them are actually magical?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. Or if you guys have,
Guidance!
you guys have the identify
I was gonna
spell, that'd be
guide
even
myself.
easier.
Help
Alright.
action!
So advantage and guidance, I guess?
Advantage and guidance as Zale and Sirius should begin to look into the likes of the armor, the weapons, and you did disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Alright. Oh, hold on, that's not how that works, buddy. That's not how that works. You just gotta take the other one. We gotta take the
What's the other one?
6 plus 5,
Oh.
so that's 11 plus a d4. 11 plus 2, 13 is what we got. Of the 13, nothing's really giving off magical presence or vibes or anything like that, besides the likes of the scimitar. The armor itself just seems to be standard, but it definitely seems to be intricately made. You would notice with the studded leather and the chainmail armor, it's built for the likes of, well, with the Kalani and the Forbidden Expanse in mind. You can see as there's different sigils of them. I don't think I have something I can give you guys to represent it, but I will check my mass notes for the Forbidden Expanse and the Kalani Council. City 2, if I could, as that one as well. But you would notice as, actually, yeah, you would notice something. You would notice as there is an insignia of actually of a divine individual, the likes of Erebos, even. Erebos seems to be, or one of his holy symbols seems to be sort of placed upon the shoulder guard of this sort of chainmail armor. For the studded leather, you'd also notice the same sort of thing in the same exact area and more, but the armor itself is made of bits of bronze, gold, and more steel for the most part. The scimitar itself, you're not entirely sure what or how magical it is, whether it has other properties, and what those properties are, but maybe with a bit more time and research, you can figure it out.
Who's there?
I'm here. Sorry.
Oh,
Seeing as-
And the last sort of thing that you would find, I had to go into the deep notes for this one. Where is this? You would see not insignia, but a name, not necessarily like a name like tag or anything like that, but kind of like a similar thing of belonging to the likes of a faction, a name, a tribe, a clan, or something of similarity of the sorts. Specifically in, oh my god, where is this freaking name? I have to like go through all of the sort of things for it. I haven't looked at this.
Tag Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Property
Jimmy
of
made
Jimmy,
the
which is a turn of
armor,
found.
everybody. Oh, dope. It is the... Oh, that's funny. You would see as the clan that specifically made this was Clan Salchar. So, Salchar.
Terry, is it safe?
Uh,
Is it safe?
For the most part, the scimitar seems to be have some sort of magical property, but the
Okay.
armors are quite standard, and
So,
this
so
one
no
seems
touching
to.
the scimitar until we figure out anything, right? I don't want bad things happening.
Mm,
You know.
Yes, you might have to give me time to see about the scimitar itself, but the armors are fine.
Which
And
armor
Father,
looks the
I kinda-
most? Sorry.
I feel I agree with you for your accusation for your safety. I believe you should have one of these, or at least are you able to wear such things?
Farmer.
You're asking me which one of the things that I would like to take?
And if you can wear.
Yeah.
I believe the leather one is most suited to my chassis.
Understood.
Go ahead then. I don't think most of us wear armor. At least I don't think Creelan does.
No, Creelan doesn't wear armor. He doesn't need it. He's too fast and cool.
Yeah, same reason I don't wear armor.
Yes.
Yes, Ill.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no objections, I will take that
Yeah.
armor.
See, just Kyle just laughs to himself.
Which
I have a higher AC than him too.
which armor had the Erebos symbol on it?
Both of them did.
Oh, sweet.
I love death.
Can I grab the chainmail armor and just like grab it and then like kind of like put it up against like Ciri's chest and go, ah yes, our evil druid now.
I'm sorry. I ornaments are
she's
something I could
hallucinating.
try, but I'm not really fond of wearing such heavy things.
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna make a history check, but y'all can continue. Sorry.
For the
I think
most,
she's
I
losing
think,
her mind.
if anything, if you will allow, I would hold the scimitar to see about its properties later.
Mhm.
You don't want to. You can't use the armor here.
No, this is too heavy for me. I'm sorry.
And then I'll just look to Farmer. Can you modify it for Ciri? In all its death glory purposes?
I'm gonna look down to it, and I'm gonna look back up and say,
While I might be proficient in the art of tinkering and alchemy, smithing is a different art.
Cool.
I will say, out of character though, one of my class features is the right tool for the job. So I presume that means that, I can learn how to produce exactly the tool I need to create a magic. You can magically create one set of artisan tools in an unoccupied space within 5 feet. So I imagine
Ooh.
if I get the ability, if I use that ability, I could probably do that.
All right. Well, that said, do you have the ability? Yeah, you have the ability now. It takes about an hour to do, from what it sounds like. Yeah, creation requires 1 hour of uninterrupted work. So it's really just up to you guys. Well, I guess you'd have to explain it in character, but whether you'd want to have a farmer start doing it.
That this is something that I can perform functionally, perhaps perform functionally at a higher effective rate than the others in this room. I can certainly assemble the tools necessary and give it a shot. However, there's no guarantee on the result. I imagine chainmail can be refashioned into studs for leather if we had a source of leather.
Too bad we don't have the hyenas from earlier. Probably make it easier.
What exactly did we make with those?
We ate them. We didn't do anything with them.
We didn't skin the leathers.
I don't believe so.
Oh, yeah, we should do that next time.
Another time then.
You might want to take off the symbol though. You might be mistaken for someone else.
So you do not be being associated with any people we do not know.
Yeah.
Especially ones that we don't like.
It is my
Or
priority
Auroraverse.
to refashion the
What do you mean?
cosmetics of this as soon as I have the capability. Or the time,
Oh.
rather.
That's right, you all aren't from here. See, as you kind of look, he looks over the armor, Kyle will just say, it's common, well, I heard from the stories and such. It's common that most of the regions of Voden, or individuals hailing from them, being the Kalani, the Ishtarans, or the Velkin, they'd typically be not necessarily in service, but their ideals would probably be built around one god or multiple gods. Erebos, from what I could understand, was from the Kalanis, signifying, well, wealth, riches, and death as well. Point is, I don't know exactly how the gods were sort of interpreted where you all came from, but that's, for the most part, the extent. Not everybody decides to truly pledge themselves to their culture's god.
God over there to God over here don't matter. It's the same being. So I would still recommend taking it off.
To each their own.
And with this, and to have the armors, I will examine the scimitar again. And I guess for Phoebe's sake, we talk about things?
Yes!
Yeah.
I do not know how this
Question.
works.
Talk about
Why
things.
Well, wait. Before we talk about ourselves, why did you guys come over here?
Does that mean you're gonna go on another date?
What?
Well, Nuna, not everything is a date. I mean, sometimes it's just talking among friends.
Oh.
But why
got
did you
excited.
guys come over here?
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Oh.
Oh. It was just for a quick sort of thing, to make sure that we're all on the same page. I overheard you were speaking of having to deal with the sort of, or earning an audience with the water queen thing, whatever. As soon as the sandstorm hits, I'm sure that you probably will go deal with that, but I'll probably try to leave as soon as possible to make this sort of trek. Leave at the beginning of the night and hopefully be able to continue forth in the likes of the day. So if there's anything else you did need from me, now's the time before I go. That being said,
Well,
pretty much it.
it was nice meeting you, despite the rocky start.
right.
Mm,
Is it advisable to leave at a time when a sandstorm is blowing through?
Not
He's gonna leave when the
Yeah.
sandstorm's over.
Yeah, like as soon as it's over, he's gonna pretty much leave.
I stand corrected.
It's okay. But that said, I'll try to do as I said and leave a good word for you all and the likes of the Samadans. I'll try to omit as much as I really can when it comes to you. But
yeah.
we'll see.
And well, if you need anything ever, you're always allowed to come here if we're still here.
Yes, and if you find, like,
Oh.
any wanted posters of me, I would like to know.
Wanted posters. Well, I don't think there's any civilization in sight, so I'll let you know if I seen some.
Just saying.
Well, in terms of civilization in sight, that sounds like a opportunity to make this the center of some sort of civilization.
This be the start of our own?
I suppose.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Our own little homestead, I guess.
I mean, I like helping people. Sure, why not?
A bulletin board. Yes.
Oh,
Bulletin board.
I like those.
Why? Because they have your wanted posters on them.
Shut the fuck up, Phil. God.
I gotcha.
Yes, I guess well, any stray souls that may come our way, if they're either not really affiliated as they might be with any of the opposing forces, we can have them come and plant roots here.
So you're telling me that Bovey could eventually have his own store?
You want a store? What would you sell?
Mm.
Alcohol.
Well,
I thought that was pretty simple and straightforward.
Well, I don't want to assume, maybe some people have secret, deep passions that they're very afraid and insecure to talk about.
Yes, I'm going to open up a sewing shop. No, I'm selling alcohol, booze!
I just wanted to make sure and didn't want to stereotype you as the guy who's just obsessed with alcohol, but I guess it's okay.
Do you know anything about brewing?
Oh, I know a lot about brewing.
Oh.
Well, then, if you need assistance in constructing a place of commerce or some supplies, I would be happy to assist.
Hold on, I'm gonna make an intelligence check for Bovey real quick. Gotta get his other character.
On whether
What
he
is
knows the word
commerce?
commerce.
No, something else actually. It is something else.
Is his
That's the exact
vocabulary
thought I was
high?
having.
5, never mind, he does not come up with an idea. Okay.
Aw.
Alright. He's like, I see. Well, you'll see as he looks over and picks up one of the gold coins and stuff like that and just starts eyeing it. Bring it close. It seems to be all we need is just an audience of people. Well, we're gonna need to actually make stuff to sell, but then we're going to need an audience of individuals stupid enough to actually buy it.
I don't think
We're
we
not
want
scamming people, Bovey.
we don't want to manipulate people here. And also, that gold coin, do we have any use of that here?
I mean,
As of right now, I don't think so.
we might as well keep it. I don't see why we should get rid of it.
A functional economy requires public buy-in. If we have more people, we can actually use it in some way.
So we just save it for later. I mean, we have a nice container that is very deadly and horrible to put it in. So,
This currency can
treasuries,
also be
what's-
different than other currencies.
Oh my god, are you talking about creating our own fiat currency?
Secret coin!
Oh no.
I would,
Non-fungible treasures.
No, Crash
we're
it.
done. We're done.
Crash it, that's out.
That's it. I
not
fireball
canon.
everyone in the room.
Aurora coin, buy now. Invest into your cryptocurrency.
It's happening! We're gonna
But
shoot
I-
for the moon, everyone.
I hate it.
We got unions. We got our own currency.
Hey,
Stocks
just
are
remember to
rising.
hodl. You gotta hodl it.
Oh man.
All right, we're done. No more. I'm gonna get a brain aneurysm.
So with the gold coins, with as big as our group is now, I don't think we have much use of them. I believe trading would be our best form of economy. Is that the word?
It is.
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Well,
Is it a point in at least starting it now or no?
I have no knowledge of these such things, so I really wouldn't be the best to say.
I don't even remember how this economy works. Well, I kind of do, but I don't know how much stuff is worth it.
You give shiny stuff for items
I
you
know
desire.
that part.
Can I feel like I want to do an overall history check for just the general ins and outs of a functioning economy, and I feel like if I roll really high, that'll be cool.
Oh,
But
no.
I don't know how that will.
16.
Oh, it's okay. It's decent.
So you're asking like something for what are you exactly
Like,
looking
in
for
terms,
me
like,
or just what are you
I
looking
am
for?
sort of for myself, but also in the general sense of like, okay, well, who exactly is the accountant here? Like, am I the accountant? Do I roll high enough to be an accountant?
Oh my god.
You want to be the treasurer?
Can I be am I the treasurer? So like 16. I don't know if
Okay,
that makes me
I think I get what
smart
you're
enough to
trying
be
to
a
say.
treasurer.
You're trying to basically say, hey, how much knowledge does Farmer have of economy and like how that sort of runs and operates to be able to present the idea of like, hey, can I do this sort of thing to the rest of the party? Am I wrong or no?
Yeah, and in the sense of just like bolstering and creating an actual market of goods and services and all that stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
so
just-
from your perspective in 16, I mean, even though you were like again a decommissioned warbot, you are one, not really a normal one at that, and then two, you've had plenty of time being in the general sort of setting of where a thriving economy is very, very apparent and abundant. You being from, well, Nobilia, but more so Zenobia, aka Steampunk Planet, right? So you have lots and lots of knowledge of like different sort of currencies, funding, how this sort of thing works. So it's not too far off for you to be able to have the idea of like what a treasure is or anything like that. Not too far off.
Gotcha. Okay. Do I act upon that information?
If you want to.
Secretly, Farmer's gonna start doing the tax.
Farmers know a Mo. Also, wait.
I am.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. When did Showcase turn on their cam and stuff? Wait, what?
He was here the whole time.
I looked.
I was here. I just, you guys are doing y'all, so I'm not going to interrupt.
I got jump scared. I look over to my left because I have all of your cameras on the big screen TV. And I'm like, wait, what? And I just see Showcase just chilling like, hi guys.
He was here for the longest.
I don't see it. What the fuck?
Come on, put our bird back in. We miss him.
Alright, he crashes in through the window. No, I'm kidding. But you guys do hear a knock on the door eventually.
Oh no.
Oh no. Wait, look over it. Everyone's here, right?
I'll
Oh.
open the door.
It's a horror movie experience right now.
Yeah, it's
Who's
just
that?
Alright.
slowly approaching.
Do you open the door?
Just yeah. He'll
You
No,
do
those
it.
strangers.
He'll do it very carefully though, where like minimum sand gets in, like it's like
Guiding bolt at the ready.
You see as
No.
immediately you open it up just a smidge. Make a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
8, 7. You don't take any damage, or 6. You don't take any damage, but immediately you just nearly pancaked over and sent flying as the door goes crashing open, and you see as a massive individual begins to form, slowly walking in. You see as they still have the likes of the sack amongst their sort of shoulder, and they just sort of toss it onto the likes of this sort of pillow over here, and you see as they're scratching and clawing to get themselves free. And inside, you could probably assume the likes of Farmer and Sirius is a Creelin inside the likes of this sack, but they are just clawing to get out, I assume.
Thank you, Kiba.
Can you close the door?
Yes, please.
Oh.
We don't want the sands coming in.
You see as he holds his hands up, like kind of nods and apologies, and begins to slowly start backing up a little bit, tracking sand in and everything, and then closing the door shut.
But I imagine the keeper as a nice Mr. X from Resident Evil 2.
Oh god, him
That is
entering
possible.
doors.
I said, you see basically a sack, it's pretty much just trying to claw themselves out. What are you guys doing?
He'll
Krillin,
take
is that you?
Krillin.
Ah.
It seems bags are his weaknesses.
I'm still in a bag. I'm a bird. I haven't figured this out yet. I'm still clawing at him.
What is this contraption?
Zale's gonna take his dagger and like make a hole, being careful not to, obviously stab in it.
Krillin, you see a light in this dark prison.
I don't know where I am. I'm going to fly up 40 feet.
Oh my
No, you try to expand your wings, but whatever this device is constrained the likes of your flight. You can't move. You can only just sort of waddle a little bit off to the side and roll around.
Alright. I enter the world through the light.
Alright, you enter the world throughout the light, and you see just Kreelin's beak poke out of the hole that you made, Zale.
It's a baby keeper.
Can you really not figure this out?
Restraints are one thing, but what is this made out of?
It is a bag.
But
And he'll just take his two hands from the beak and just rip.
but my talons.
Hey, farmer, make an Arcana check.
Oh, right.
Oh no, am I gonna die?
Okay. Oh wait, also there's other mages as well. Phoebe, you need to make one as well. Arcana check. And yeah, you too, Zale. Yeah, why not?
I'm magic.
Oh, but you're not necessarily more intelligence-based. You're more sort of like, I got magic. I'm sorry, not from the divine.
Nothing for the
10,
natural.
12,
The all
20,
nat.
23.
All natural.
You look over and Phoebe, you kind of look at this like, that's strange. It kind of seems a little bit familiar, whatever the sort of bag or sack or whatever that thing is. But look over as he sort of breaks out of it and covering a hole into it. Is that like it's like a bigger sort of bag of holding even.
God damn it.
It's weird.
Sick.
Definitely strange. The fact that Krillin isn't really in, another plane of existence, not breathing at the moment, it's kind of strange, but here it is. It's definitely ripped, so it's not really up to snuff. If you were to put anything into it now, obviously it wouldn't really function or work, but maybe something to work on in the future.
So it can be mended one by one.
Maybe.
Quick, make it last.
Welcome
I'm outside
to
the bag,
world,
correct?
Krillin.
Krillin, get out of that bag!
I will get up, stand on the table.
No, not the
No,
table.
not my table!
The
Sand
table.
is just getting everywhere.
Oh my god.
Krillin! Off!
Okay.
We really just need to bathe. We probably are all. Oh god.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I bathed.
Right, you all haven't bathed. Even I bathe.
I did.
I clean.
All the time.
When did you?
Still didn't take a bath.
I usually don't need to. I have magic for that.
This is
There's
Narth is
the
right. This is
Oasis
literally just a
right there.
sitcom.
Oh man.
And I would, but I don't like the chance of being strangled by, water.
I'm grabbing the bag.
All right, you grab the bag. You see as Krillin begins to step out of it, you actually watch before your very eyes, it does begin to magically start shrinking down a little bit. Not to like still not even to a normal bag of holding sort of size. It's still fairly big, probably like again, not really like a rucksack or anything like that, but a little bit smaller of a bag than that. Maybe big as your torso, really.
Nice.
There's something with the bag.
There's a magic bag.
Is that a weapon?
No. Well,
Hmm.
She's thinking about.
Could be.
Of course, she would think about that.
Couldn't break it with my
Snicker.
talons.
anyways, it's a good bag and we need it and no one's gonna break it, okay? We fix it.
How do we
Fix
fix
it.
this bag?
Huh?
How do we fix this bag?
I don't know. Farmer, fix the bag.
I'm going to proceed to fix the bag.
No, don't activate the EXE!
Alright, question, Farmer. Do you have... Well, hold on. Does mending work on magical items or anything of the sort?
It does. It doesn't restore magic, though, but it does work on magical. So I will help!
Gotcha. So both of you with mending. Alright, yeah. Easy enough. You're able to, like, no rolling needed. You are able to at least restore the ripped cloth made by Zale and Creelan.
The spell can physically repair a magic item or construct, but the spell cannot restore magic to an object.
Okay. So yeah.
Is the spell gone?
At the moment, yes, because obviously Creelan would have been suffocating, or if he was in it. So you can restore the likes of the magical properties of it if with a bit of time, but you do at least have the base resource to maybe make it even better than a normal bag of holding.
All right, we got 2.
So we have a magical bird napping bag.
Maybe we can store one inside of the other. No,
No!
don't do that.
Meta version comes out. Don't do that!
And it was at that moment Project Aurora died.
You just see a distance from the oasis to the black hole.
It's just like we'll be right back. Do 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 do. Oh man. That's it.
We really are a sitcom.
Where do you look? Anyways.
Turn from 90210 to a sitcom. I love it.
That being said, at this point, everybody make perception checks for me.
What is it with?
I wouldn't say sight. This is just a base perception check. Sorry.
So I was just looking out the window.
I'm sorry.
That's bad.
I can't even
It's okay,
use my
it's okay.
demon eye.
9, 19, 15, 9, 12, 12, 12. Alright, I'd probably say, yeah, Zale and Phoebe, you'd probably be the first ones to notice this. You would feel a sort of rumbling, just very, very faint and kind of far away. Look around and you kind of notice one of the plants that, sort of Bovie and Ilva are kind of standing by. It's ever so slightly sort of rumbling and shaking.
Guys,
Yes, Theo?
there's rumbling.
I push Bovie out of the way.
Yikes.
That's so mean.
What the hell is wrong with you, girl?
And then I kind of keep my ear to the plan.
You feel as the ground is sort of rumbling once more.
What is it, Phoebe?
It's
What? It's
gonna
vibrating.
miss.
You look over, and at this point, you kind of see as the plants beside Phoebe are starting to rumble and starting to shake ever so slightly. Anybody sort of look, or actually, excuse me, Sirius, you would look over to the side and you'd see as these sort of empty journals off over here, they seem to be also sort of shaking alongside the little shelf stand.
I'm gonna do my best to put my armor back on.
Okay. It's gonna take a couple minutes, Ilva, so I got you.
I know.
Can I don the new armor?
Sure thing. You start suiting up. You place the studded leather armor on. I will give that to you in just a moment.
Why did they
can-
come in the middle of a sandstorm? Can't they take a break?
It's like me
Do
putting on a
you
sock
believe
with
it's an
one
earthquake?
Wait, is that a scimitar? And I go, "Scimitar."
Don't touch it! I'll kill you!
Krillin, you pick up a scimitar, and it feels light. Pretty good.
Ah,
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
I was gonna check it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sirius actually did have it. So, I mean, if you do want to just
Oh, okay.
look over and grab it, Krillin, I mean, you can still.
if he has it, yeah, I'll just walk up, hey, and just reach out my hand for it.
No,
wait,
we
what
don't know
are you
what it
doing?
is yet.
But I just started my bladed weapon training. I only started at daggers. That's interesting. What do you want with it?
Yeah, I was checking its magical properties, but first, what is this? Is this an earthquake? I believe it's an earthquake. Things are rumbling.
And you might want to keep the sharp thing away from you if things are about to get shaky. And I step back.
Oh, God. What's happening outside? Do we have any means of or ways of being able to see outside without being there?
No, not at the moment.
I mean, we can't open the windows.
I mean, I could go. If you trust me.
No, you were literally the smallest thing. Aren't you gonna get blown away or something?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Damn.
Well, someone could go outside briefly, and then you'll see me start unwrapping the rope around my chest that I've been keeping wrapped around myself.
Why don't we have
there's
the
the rope.
person?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh God. Are we gonna see though? Isn't that the issue?
No, we don't have any more water. No, never mind.
Oh.
Over. You have sight beyond sight. Yes.
I'm currently like struggling to put on my socks. I'm like one-legged this while it's rumbling. By the way, like, hair's a mess. Part of the chain is like linking off. Whatever. I'm doing my best I can here.
Do you need help?
Fair enough.
How do you guys not feel this?
Do you need help with that?
No, I'm good. Shut the door.
Oh man.
I think she's losing her mind. I knew it would come.
But
You'll
we
see.
must investigate this.
Good. That said, eventually, you eventually
Go ahead.
begin to feel the rumbling getting even worse and worse. At this point, you see as the pillows themselves, or the table beside is starting to sort of shake and rumble. At this point, it's almost as if it's an earthquake sort of occurring, and you're not entirely sure what it is. Everybody make perception checks once more if you can.
All right.
Do I make one because the door is closed?
Yeah, you still can. You would even notice as your sort of cabinet is sort of shaking at the moment.
Cool.
Alright, we got this is the one.
My perceptions were getting so good until now.
Alright, 16, 14, 22, 7, 9, and yeah, oh wait, excuse me. Oh, and I need Kaio to make one as well. Perception, nat 20. God damn, he sees all. And then
Yes,
boom.
Kaio. You saw the invisible enemies, and then I'll just lean and just tap my thumbs together.
Between the likes of Krelin and Krelin and Kaio, you two specifically will notice as the rumbling, it doesn't seem just all around you as if like if it was an actual earthquake. It seems as if it's coming from the likes of a certain direction. You see as said direction, however, is sort of changing. At first you feel the likes of the or the sort of rumbling coming from over here, and I can't ping it. Over from the sort of left side of the sort of house, and then it begins to start moving over towards the right side, eventually kind of closer towards where you would imagine the oasis water is.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that was going to be my question. Are the rumbles in the direction of the cliff with the water, where I saw that large thing?
They're heading it kind of in that direction right now, but they didn't start from there.
I keep my thoughts to myself.
So
I sure don't.
I think it seems to be moving, whatever this thing is. It's not, I don't know what it is or how many, but this isn't just an earthquake or something. This is something different.
Oh, joy. Sorry, Hilly.
It's kind of heading towards the oasis, or the water portion of it.
Oh.
We must make haste.
Could be the thing we first saw when we awoke. The big sand dragon worm thing, whatever it is.
I feel this is a little small. It wasn't that huge.
It depends on how far down it is.
Okay, how about I just put my arm out of the window and I let Nuna take a peek?
That sounds like a horrible idea.
You sure?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Oh my
All right.
god.
You see as
Prepare to get muddy, Nuna.
Oh
Find
man.
out robot arm.
Alright, well, here we go. Nuna's gonna get ready to do this. She'll slither up amongst your arm, and you're just holding her out to basically like take a quick little peek, or are you letting her jump out and scout out around the area? Which one?
No, I'm letting her take a peek so she doesn't like get blown away or anything like that.
Alright, so as this begins to happen, you open up this blinds. Immediately a cacophony of sand, a sandy explosion hits your face. Oh, let's make a perception check for her. It's with a disadvantage, but because the sandstorm is a 10. You see as she begins to sort of slither back, and bits of sand and mud at this point is kind of forming amongst her entire person. She drops down and says, I think I saw something purple or something moving in and out of the sands or something. It was very, very big. Whatever it was.
Shit.
Sorry?
It's kind
Sand
of like
snake?
it's kind of like circling or something. And then she'll eventually drop down. That's all I saw.
Serious.
Was it like a big sandworm or something?
I think it was purple or something, kind of like a worm.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah.
Really?
Oh, of course.
Please.
Word of fuck the spell and healing word heal.
I'm gonna get Ovi's token thing.
I can't believe Rek'Sai is in my D&D game. I'm so excited.
Who said it's Rek'Sai? That's all I'm gonna say. Who said it's Rek'Sai?
They're purple.
Oh wait, whoops.
Not you.
Did
Alright.
you target me?
I
Yeah,
think I got it
thank you.
right. Yep, there we go.
Oh,
Okay.
because it didn't add, so I'll add it myself then.
At this point, you'll see as Bovi will begin to look over towards Nuna, leaning down and saying, "Well, you said they're circling. Rumbling. Well, we got a choice, and it's not a good one. We can either A, we can stay in here and hope for the best, and hope that the damage that they cause isn't too crazy, or B, we try to deal with it ourselves in the likes of the Sandstorm. Either option is terrible, but
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
We can't see the worm. If it's a worm, it burrows down, and we have no vision.
We can barely see at all. I wish the sandstorm would just fucking go away. It's very.
Zay, I'll roll a D100 real quick.
Oh, why me?
Make a wish.
I want to do a nature check on worms.
Sure
One word.
thing. You got it.
Particularly just insights on how to best handle a worm.
Before.
All right, make a. Oh, you made the nature check. 25. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 1 minute if you can. While
Nuna
that's
is
happening,
so
you guys can
many
talk amongst yourselves.
I'm
Well,
so sorry if something bad happens. God,
understanding
I'm so sorry.
The small thing about worms is you can feel and see their movement through the earth, and then you just go down and pluck them up.
Well, that's fine and dandy, but I don't think a normal worm would be making this much commotion.
I
No.
could.
Okay.
I could make us, if we choose to go after it, I could make it so we're covered by darkness if you want to get the upper hand at all.
Do
It's
worms
a
usually
worm.
have
Would it be
vision?
able to-
Farmer, I'm about to drop some knowledge on you, if you would.
Not the tiny ones that I know of.
Download the worm
So,
info.
25. You begin to think about this for a second. Thinking about what Nuna said, and definitely the descriptions that she was going by, as well as the experience of feeling these sort of tremors and this sort of shaking around you. You've heard of beasts of the sorts that are capable of burrowing and more. purple, this talk of worms and stuff like that, well, it makes you think of the beast, well, a purple worm. Now, purple worms are typically massive in size. They can, or at least in my worlds and stuff like that, they can be by themselves, or they can maybe be in a couple, a few. Definitely not a dozen or anything like that, but a handful of them. One way that typically people in Nobilia, they would, if they ever had to deal with the consequences of a purple worm attacking, they could try to use different loud noises to attract said worm into a different location and send them off another way. But there's only one issue with that. You're kind of in the middle of a sandstorm, so how are you going to really make it loud enough noise to get their attention elsewhere, right?
I have a light bulb moment. I have Thunderwave.
That is a loud noise.
That is a loud noise.
Self-centered? Isn't that self-centered though?
Yeah.
That would therefore mean that I am the bait. Yes.
There's two who can cast on the wave.
Couldn't you also like catapult something to make loud noise, like launch it in
I
an
could.
area?
You know, that is also an option. As long as something that is 5 pounds being projected in a straight line 90 feet creates enough tremor sense.
It would have to be, also to help you guys out, it would have to be something, if it's 5 pounds, something loud enough to overpower the sound of a sandstorm happening right now.
I have shatter.
That's
Which
loud.
makes a really loud ringing noise.
I think we should use that one.
Just Thunderwave shatter, and it's like, where do I go?
Its brain just
Have an
explodes.
idea.
And then, of course, montage talking about the plan.
Insert talking montage.
I gotta have it role played out, goddammit. Production value is up, so I need this going up. No, I'm kidding. You guys are good.
So, you want to use a shatter because it's long range?
It
Uh,
is.
How
Should
far
I be-
is the
what
range?
be-
What is it? 10-foot radius, and the range is
We could essentially control where this thing goes.
60 feet.
Ooh, that's pretty far.
Where do we want it to go? Away?
Away. Probably. You're not
We
right.
don't want to fight it.
Do we tame the worm?
I would love to fight it. Only
Do
issue
we-
is
do
we're
we
in a
ride the
standstill.
worm?
Oh my.
I'm
The only issue is this would be fine if it weren't for a sandstorm. Otherwise, I would be totally down for fucking killing a worm.
Speaking of worms, can I do a nature check to see about the worm statistics? Well, more like if it's a beast of some sort.
Are you holding you to your
Oh,
right now?
yeah, you can.
Oh,
You
don't worry
can.
about that.
Make a nature check to see what it would categorize as.
Well,
It's ready
since-
to duel the worm, and then you
I was
duel
fiddling.
battle.
Leave me
It's
alone.
time to duel. 11. Well, probably Farmer would have to explain this one to you. Farmer, you would know that purple worms come from the likes of, how you say, the Underdark. There we go. Now, because of this, you begin to start questioning, okay, well, maybe they could be an aberration. Maybe they could be, or just something like completely different. They could be a beast because, worms are worms and all that stuff, animals, yada, yada. Or they could be, even worse, being a monstrosity. You're not entirely sure between the likes of either beasts, monstrosities, or aberrations, though.
Would my 25 nature check give me?
I'll tell you what, you can make another one if you want, or you can give serious advantage.
I'll give serious advantage.
Go for it.
I guys gotta tell myself.
Farmer,
Sure.
farmer, how tall do they stand when above ground? You seem to have information on them.
Let me look up the stats for
And
purple worm.
Mrs. Pratt.
Well, don't look at the stats for a purple worm. Come
All
on.
right, all right, fine.
Don't do that.
Let's get the encyclopedia.
Right. Don't do that.
The worm, that is to say the purple worm, is, insert knowledge here,
Yeah.
So with your 26 serious, between the likes of you and Farmer, you figure out and nail it down to purple worms are probably tailored to a monstrosity, rather than an actual beast.
Yeah, that shit ain't natural.
but they also can come in multiple sizes. Now, you kind of sort of start sweating at the hope that this isn't a actual purple worm, or maybe that it's a couple of smaller ones and hope for the best, but hell, from what Ilva was saying earlier, this could be the big one. Who knows?
Only way to find out now.
Since
I relay knowledge.
Yeah, since I know in advance that I have Thunderwave, and Thunderwave works in a very specific way centered on me, I'm going to start looking around for something equivalent to a rope for myself, because I imagine I will need to fasten myself to something in order to be, if that's the direction we're going. You know, if these are worms, they can nom, they could gulp, I probably don't want to just be not attached to something.
But we got Shatter.
We'll get the rope around Farmer.
As you guys are discussing this, you guys hear this. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Where is it? If it will play? Oh no! Alright, well, we'll do it live. You guys all hear this. From the likes of a distance from almost, you could gather a mile, maybe a little bit further away out. But that is what you hear.
Yikes.
Was that the big one or the tiny one?
Probably the big one.
I assume that's the big. So how are we gonna lure this away? Or are we really fighting it? This sounds like a horrible idea. I'm gonna be real. I'm all for fighting, but not like this.
Yeah, fights has ensued. We need to be moving fast. Or at least start away from the homes.
Yeah,
and if anything, we should be doing this now. We don't know how much damage is already done.
Well, if we're moving, if we all hold hands, I can make sure that we're covered. We'll just a sandstorm outside.
Wait, that's a horrible idea if we hold hands.
Phoebe, roll a D100 for me.
Woohoo!
We should be utilizing rope.
I'm just scared.
I will go up to Phoebe and ask, how much do you weigh?
Whoa, okay. That's a very personal question there, Krillin.
I have an idea.
Oh no.
If I told you how much I weigh in kilograms, would you know how much that is?
You see him look up. There's a ratio, I think it's 0.89. It'll be rough. Yes.
Can you put it in stones?
Yeah, like about 3 big rocks. Like, yeah, just big rocks, like this big. About 3 of them.
Let's see if this works. And I attempt to grab Phoebe and fly.
What's your strength at? 10?
Yep.
Make an athletics check for me. She's not that big. Not big at all, really.
This is why I asked.
12? Yeah, you can fly with Phoebe. It's not a fun experience, but it's definitely a strenuous one, considering you're not the strongest of individuals, but you can do it for sure.
Okay, this will not work. Thank you. Oh.
You're too heavy, Phoebe.
Well, the idea was to wrap myself in you with rope, and then you cast your magic as needed as we lured away.
This
But
Great
between
idea.
worse and worse.
But I think believe I have a safer one for Phoebe. I'll turn it. All right, out of game. Phoebe, I'm going to turn into a horse. You're gonna ride me. We're gonna trail it out.
Yeah.
Where are we even going?
We're gonna draw it away. That's the game plan.
We have Shatter. What do you
exactly?
mean?
Look, I'm gonna have Phoebe behind me. I'm gonna have Phoebe riding the horse. We're gonna run out.
Whoa.
Shatter outside of the place. And draw it out.
Okay.
Okay.
And while I'm riding you, that won't be a problem during a sandstorm.
I don't know. You just gotta point in a direction. I believe that's all you need to do. It doesn't, as long as it's not in the house. Nothing but sand out there at this point.
This is getting worse and worse. The more I hear it, I'm just. You're killing it today. Oh man.
I'm gonna fucking fall off if I do that. You know that, right?
Right, this is where the rope comes in. Now you tie it up.
She's gonna dangle. She's gonna be dragged. That's
You tie the rope and secure it with it.
What the?
Hey,
Why can't we just do it while we're inside?
hey.
60
Why do
feet
we
is
have
not
to be
far away
I
enough.
I
Yeah, it's
guess.
not far
Ow.
enough.
I'll
This sounds
step
like
up.
very scary and life-risking. So.
Are
It's either that or
you
get eaten by the worm right now.
do you
The
two
worm
want to
might
make
not
sure
even
that you're
know we're
attached?
here.
Wait, first things first. How far away do you want me to cast the thing? The sound.
It's 30 feet. We want to get.
It's
If the worm is big, we need to get like at least 100. I can cover that much as a horse.
Okay, then we have to go about 40 feet away, and then I can cast Shatter 60 feet away, and then we have 100 feet away. Is that
Oh.
fine?
Also,
In
do you
and
want me to open up the Oasis map to give you guys a little bit better? Because you know what your Oasis looks like.
Yes.
I have the knowledge. I know
also,
the map.
Animus, wouldn't a horse? Oh, I guess because Sandstorm, it would kind of cover it. But doesn't a horse also make a lot of noise while running and galloping?
Oh look, we have more noise to draw it out with.
But I don't want you to die.
But I don't want to get eaten. Serious?
So we make it fast.
There are trees. Climb up a tree.
Climb
Which-
up-
First question is first. Which way is the wind going?
We have a tower too.
It's going on the map. That's where it's basically going. Once you see the sand blowing.
So it's like
Oh, that way. Okay.
So it's going southeast. That's cardinal
Wow.
directions.
It's going southeast, and the worm came from the southeast, so we have to go.
So the worm came from the northwest over here, and then now it's kind of
right there.
over in this direction. That's where you heard the tremors last.
Okie dokie.
At the moment,
So-
Kreelan, with your perception check from earlier, you would kind of feel as if occasionally it's just sort of circling around the entire area.
Oh.
No.
So if we go south, we will go like with the wind first, which
you
will
wanna go
be
with the wind.
easier. Yeah,
All right.
but then
Phoebe,
you have the issue of going back.
serious?
Kreelan.
Yes.
Really?
Would you like to be? Have a way to stick together?
Yeah.
Yes.
I reach back into one of my little pockets and I put out
Oh.
my manacle.
Oh no!
How are you gonna put that on a horse though?
Can't Siri? Can you not turn into a bird as well?
No, my kid does not go that far yet.
Well, he can make a bird.
I can turn into a bird if need be, Kaio will say.
So why don't Kaio and Kreelan fly up with Phoebe? Surely they're both their strength could be able to do it.
It's
And
not a big bird. It's like literally just a pigeon size or something.
Okay, so that doesn't help at all then. Thanks.
Well,
Oh, Jesus. Neva, are you okay? You seem extra grumpy today.
I just putting that armor really frustrated me while I was all this rumbling.
oh sorry. I'll make sure to pick out the catalog for a hawk next time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime. Just keep going at it.
Does the idea of a horse really suit this plan then?
I mean,
Can you
I'm
put
more-
blinders on? You can borrow my blindfold for your horse.
but
I need to see though.
You can see out of it. It's just it's so that you won't get blinded by the sand, so you stay focused. I don't know. That's
Wait,
how a
you
horse
can
works,
see?
Wait,
Yeah,
hopefully
does
you're
that
not
work?
blind.
We never had this discussion in the game
I'm not
ever.
We never questioned it.
We never.
Then why are
She
you
was
wearing it?
Sight beyond sight for me.
Long story. Right now, though, I don't know if it'd help, but like, I don't know if you take the full trait of a horse, but like, if you run back with the horse with Phoebe during the
All horse,
sandstorm,
all stallion.
all stallion, sweet.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna have trouble going backwards then.
All move forward. Got it.
Almost.
Oh,
Alright, so horse idea? Anyone else?
I guess, but I'm just worried for both of your well-being.
I
it's
guess
like-
we
it's
don't
either-
have a better idea, so we just go do it.
I know,
Alright.
but I feel bad.
No. Alright, horse. Horse.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Horse.
Okay. So Sirius is gonna make his way toward the door
Okay.
and wait for
Yeah,
Phoebe's cue.
run me through this entire plan. You run me through this entire thing real
Okay,
quick.
it's already here. I'm turning into a horse.
Okay.
Phoebe is gonna ride.
Hold on, let me get a horse mini. All right, hold on. All right, first off, we're gonna horse.
I don't know if it's gonna help. I'm gonna guidance Siri the horse.
No, I can guide myself too.
Can they be purple?
Is it a riding horse? Is it a draft horse? Apparently, I need to know these things.
What's the
Obviously.
fastest horse we have?
All right,
do
we're gonna
still
call it a
want
draft
rope,
horse.
by the way.
All right.
I do still want rope.
Yeah, Krillin, can we have that rope?
All right.
I will start unwrapping it from around my torso and
Okay.
start wrapping it back up in a nice little bundle.
What?
Wait, hold on. We gotta take this in a step-by-step process. So Sirius is turned into a horse, and then what's happening?
Phoebe's
And
riding
then we
me.
get the rope.
Okay, you got the rope. What's the rope doing with this exactly?
Then I'm gonna put the rope around Sirius while he's a horse.
Okay.
And then I'm
alright.
gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that.
Okay. All right. You're leading a horse in Sirius.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
in this way she's securing herself too. So she's wrapping around the waist and getting it
Yeah.
around her. So if
I'm
she
So-
happens
making
to
sure I
fall
don't
off,
fucking
she's
fall
stuck
off.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Stop there.
So you're gonna be. I'm assuming you're gonna be walking with them, right? You're not just gonna be dead weight, just dragging, letting yourself get
Oh,
dragged.
she's riding. She's riding.
Riding atop of the horse, but wrapping the rope around you, so just in case you fall off, you don't,
Yeah.
get lost. Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, then what? Is that it?
We're going down. We're going with the wind.
Yeah, we're going with the wind, so south.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go like about 40 meters, 40 I mean feet.
We don't do meters in D&D 5th edition.
Look. It's going like at this distance. All right, hang on. Let me see. Right now, let's see. We're going about 175 feet. We're at least going all the way. We're back in the sand.
Oh my god!
No, wait, where are we going? How far? Holy shit, hold on.
We gotta go really. It's a giant. We have to go really
We don't
far.
even know
We
how
can't just.
big it is, technically. We
Ex-
don't know.
Exactly. So we have to go. We have to assume it's the biggest. So we have to go really far, and make sure it's all the way outside the sands. And not too close to the oasis.
Okay.
All right.
I can do that. We get towards the dune over there then or something,
my
I guess.
God.
Going
All
far.
right,
Going
let's
far.
do this. Break.
One
Ready?
question for you.
Ready?
Oh,
Is it-
go
is
ahead,
it
go
nighttime or
ahead.
daytime?
It is
Yeah,
nighttime at the moment.
Then I am going.
Ah!
Well, oh, no.
It's better.
I'm gonna cast Eyes on Night on Siri and Phoebe.
All right, as this begins to happen, I think I know which one this is because I have a Twilight Cleric in my other game. You see as you open up your eyes after blinking for a brief moment in time, and immediately you are able to see almost past the likes of the horizon and more. Your sight is cleared. It's almost like wearing glasses for the first time after having bad
boy.
eyesight, as you now have dark vision out to 300 feet.
Ooh.
I can see. Right.
How are
Alright.
those glasses?
I see everything.
I align with that. Thank you for that description.
I said, here we go.
Ready?
You guys can move your tokens and all that stuff.
Wait, can I understand you while you're horse?
No, he's a horse.
I can understand you. That's
Yeah,
the thing. I
okay.
can understand you.
Okay,
So if
cool.
you need to say anything, just say it. I'll follow.
Alright, cool. You're okay.
One nay for yes, two nay for no.
We get inspiration.
Watch me,
This
Nene.
is going to go so wrong, really.
Alright, also, is Nuna going with you or is she staying behind?
Can I put Nuna like in my pocket, like inside somewhere?
Yeah, I'll allow that. Okay, so.
in my breast somewhere.
Can I move this horse?
Sure. I said, I can make it where you can move the horse. Give me one moment. Production value. Give me a second,
I
guys.
need horse control. I need horsepower.
Configure
Horse
permissions.
control.
Control. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
Alright, you
I need to
have
become
horse
one with horse.
permissions to control. Go for it, buddy.
Also, can we make
Uh-huh.
the horse purple?
No, we don't have that budget.
We
No, I'm
don't have that
kidding.
much of a budget. We can't
Actually,
make
hold
it
on. I think I actually
budget.
can. Hold on. Purple horse. That's more pink.
Of course.
Can we do it? Okay, you can't see because
mean-
of Sandstorm, but it's purple. I swear. Wait, no,
Hey,
it's not.
That's
like
like mine.
red.
It's purple.
Good enough. Boom! It's pink.
Pink! It's pink!
I I tried my best, guys.
It's Lubo's horse.
On the horse.
You know,
Okay.
All right. Nice and secure. You're tied up on the horse. Ready?
so scared.
Ready?
I'm so scared.
All right. Actually, I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna be dashing all this time though.
You're just going
what's the
out,
speed of a
so it's
horse?
just like out like the race or out for the races.
You better put the money on me. I'm going.
I'm so
You
afraid.
see as Sirius begins to go out like a chant. Alright, both of you, because I wasn't specified that you guys were having any things to cover your eyes or mouths. Both of you make constitution saving throws against the sandstorm.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I had to do that to the horse. I need horse stats.
Oh my
You
fucking
died.
god.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
This is.
I need horse stats.
Open up the horse. You should be able to open it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Let me know when I offered.
I know. Open did say, but no one did anything afterwards. We're off to a great start, y'all. Alright, 18, 13, and then Nuna's fine because she's in your pocket and all that stuff. Actually, no, you didn't. That was HP. Yeah, you still gotta roll.
It's not. It's a D20 plus 1. I'll do it. I'll do it manually.
Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Did you do it?
Ow! Stop! Not all that. Don't ignore that.
Alright, I'll just take the first one, whatever it is. That is a 2.
What's the first one?
Oh no, that is a 3. We're killing it. Alright, so at this point, Sirius, you are not. Wait, actually, hold on. I got this. I got what happens when you guys are in a sandstorm. Give me 1 second, y'all. First thing. No. Oh, where is it? Session 1. So storm. Where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's what it is. So granted, you do have dark vision to out to 300 feet, but between the lakes of the sands, it is reduced heavily. Now, I'll give you guys a bone, and I'll at least increase it to about 50 feet around you, but it's more so the sand actually blocking the lakes of your path, not really the night sky being the problem. So you're at least able to see out to 50 feet. Also, any spell that you're concentrating on, you will have disadvantage or excuse me, hold on. No, never mind. Any spells that you're concentrating on, you will need to make it each round. Not disadvantage, just a normal roll. That said, next thing, ranged attack rolls and spells, they do have disadvantage because obviously there is a sandstorm right now. But regardless, you guys continue forth, and at this point, Sirius, you nearly almost crash into the likes of the this sort of palm tree over here. Phoebe, you have to kind of steer him over to the right a little bit. If it wasn't for you at least not being blind, yeah, that could have been maybe terrible. But
Sirius's first time being a horse.
that said, you keep dashing forward for a little bit, and immediately, every last one of you begin to hear something emerge. You hear just an explosion of something beginning to occur. It's a lot closer to the all of you guys in the likes of the house, but you see as just an explosion of wood and something and more, crates and other things off to the side. And you look over in this area, something sort of occurred.
No.
Not the pin.
No.
Not the pen.
As you
You
hear,
bastard.
as you hear it, you hear or you feel as Sirius begins to sort of startle for a bit from the brief explosion. Phoebe and Sirius, what are you guys doing?
I'm moving.
Where are you moving to?
Dashing southeast.
Southeast. Keep going.
I'm going to start neighing aloud and hopefully gathering the attention of this creature.
All right, make another Constitution saving throw, you two, to make it to the second part of this journey.
Plus 1. That is a 9.
9. All right, Phoebe, maybe you can bring us home again.
But
Phoebe, you have an
They're lost.
inspiration.
I
You know
do
you
have
an-
inspiration that I would like to use.
You do have that. Go for it and use it.
Oh my god.
That is a 9. Oh no! It's a little yikes right now. So as this is sort of happening, you guys are galloping. You're trudging through the likes of the area, but between the brief sort of explosion, you kind of can't help but almost wonder, what was that? Was that the tower, the fence? Was that your house? Is everybody okay? You sort of startle and begin to sort of second guess yourselves for a second. And as you're sort of second guessing yourself, the bits of the sand begins to almost get into the likes of Sirius's eyes. He can't necessarily see where to go. And Phoebe, you as well, you can't necessarily steer him before. Oh boy, I need you to roll a D100. The higher, the better.
You want to do it or should I?
I'm doing it.
All right.
Ooh!
That's good.
You are
That's
big.
good. Almost.
The
Almost
DC
nice.
was
That's almost
65.
nice.
Good lord, we're getting there. You nearly actually trip and almost send Phoebe flying off the likes of Sirius, but you're able to sort of stop for a bit, gather yourself, and keep on pushing along. But you are wasting a little bit more time. Eventually, you're able to get over there. But while that's happening, we got to look towards the other players. What are you doing as you hear this massive sort of explosion emanate from the east of your position?
Given the circumstances, I'm suddenly thinking that actually it might be useful for me to hold on to my Thunderwave, because if they get completely lost, I can at least signal what direction they need to go in, or something. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna grab one of the plant pots inside,
Okay,
and I'm
yeah.
gonna say,
I may need this for catapults.
Oh no. Alright, you grab it, plant in hand, ready to launch and proceed. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm going to cast one sec. I'm gonna try and concentrate on pass without a trace for the group here. Just
Alright.
because of the explosion that was beside us.
Makes sense.
And then I'm just gonna like whisper to the group and just be like, be as quiet as possible.
What are we even doing?
You'll see as all of you begin to vanish from sight.
So,
Oh,
three
where's
small
that
things. Yeah, that was one. I realized.
Oh, it's because your token I deleted your token when you were gone earlier.
How does pass
Yep.
without a trace work exactly?
The second thing, I'm gonna go over to where Sirius was standing to see if he did take the scimitar.
Oh my fucking god.
It's in
I
my
I
body.
assume it would be in your body right now, yeah.
Okay,
It's in
I don't
the
find
horse.
It's in the
This
And then,
space was like where people are
I
dying, but
am one
loot,
with
though.
the scimitar. The scimitar is one with me.
it. Fair enough. And then I'll go up to Bovie and kind of ask him, throughout your training and travels, how do you fight with a visual disability? Blind fighting.
I don't think this is the time something fucking exploded!
Bobby, Krillin, shut the fuck up.
Sorry. And he sees these sort of. Well, actually, no, you don't see shit because he's invisible right now.
So, Ducky, how does pass without a trace work? I never used that spell before. What does it do?
Basically, it just adds to our stealth checks plus 10, and we can't be tracked by magical means.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And we leave no trace of tracks behind us if we have to move.
Mhm.
Where are we headed?
Well, can you describe the scene? So this thing just like exploded part of the pen here, and there's like wood biddies flying.
Well,
everywhere
you don't
around.
know if it necessarily destroyed the pin. That was just where I pinged or whatever. It was just
Gotcha.
something from that area, right? You guys aren't outside at the moment. I assume that you closed the door or whatever. Or did you leave the door
we're
open?
Still inside. We're still inside.
Okay. So if that's the case, then yeah, I mean it's still just the house at the moment.
What about any type of rumblings? Do we feel anything coming closer to us?
Oh, most definitely. There is a massive sort of rumbling over to the east, but then you also begin to simultaneously feel another one coming from the likes of the west over here.
Oh,
Man.
there's more of them. There's more than
Multi-worms.
one. If they're, if they're not that big, we could just use a bag of holding and just like, there you go.
Oh no.
I did ask if it was a weapon.
Oh no. This is not good, guys. I said, are you doing anything?
I think we should just stay put, hold it, and just pray.
We
Because
literally
if we're
cannot
feeling on
do-
both sides, we can't really do much, especially if we can't see.
We can't do shit because of the stupid ass sandstorm.
I feel as if Sensei did not react to a roll, we would have been doing other things. So I'm going to default to what I figured my character would do.
Oh, God.
And I think, I mean, the thing is like, I need to get, I feel like it's useful for me to get onto a high ground of some sort, and just be ready in case I'm needed and get into position. So I figure like the roof of this house.
That's it. Do you head outside then?
I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna say,
Do we have a plan?
You can't see. There are multiple buildings around us. There was an explosion. And 2 of our compatriots left to try and lure whatever is around us away. So that is the only plan we have. If you're about to go outside and try and make something work, you can. Just know it could backfire because we literally cannot see outside, or we don't know how many other rumblings are around us. So by all means, and she's just gonna like put her hand on the handle and just dead ass look at you.
I am going to take this plant, and I am headed to the roof of the other house. The stairs are not that far. I should be able to make haste.
Best of luck. Just open the door.
and I'm gonna open the door and I'm going to book it. Basically, I'm gonna take a left, just a shallow angle to where I recognize the steps of the other house are located.
Easy enough. Between the range of your vision right now, it's only reduced to about 30 to 40 feet. You can see where these stairs are and begin, and you're able to head over and start climbing up the likes of the stairs. As this is sort of happening, Farmer, make a perception check for the disadvantage. Oh, man. A 3. Oh, no, the 3 and a 2. Blind as a bat right now. That's it. While that's all happening, meanwhile, over here to the side. All right, Sirius and Phoebe over on the horses. You're marching forth with a little bit as much as you can. What are you doing?
I'm still booking it over, and I'm going to at least do a little shake to maybe signal Phoebe to get ready.
A shake? Okay, yeah. Well.
That's not really helpful considering she's literally on top of you.
I
and you're a
cannot
horse.
speak or talk or use any actual words. I can neigh or buckle.
That's it. Phoebe and horse Sirius, can you guys make perception checks for me?
Horse vision, go!
I don't know, can we?
You can.
I suck!
But will you please? 3, oh no, 6. Oh god.
It fits the sandstorm.
It fits the sandstorm. You just hear rumbling. Could be coming closer to you.
Alright, I'm
Maybe.
gonna keep going, Phoebe. At this point, you can control.
I get control, what?
You have range and the spell.
Okay. Okie dokie. I'm just gonna... I think we're far out enough now. So I guess I'll just cast it. I say out loud to make sure that Sirius agrees. And then... I'm going to cast Shatter as far away as I can.
Shatter as far away as you can. What's the range on Shatter?
60 feet.
60 feet. Like, that's the... How far you can throw it, right?
Yeah, that's how far away I can do it, yeah.
Gotcha.
Then, it's 10 feet.
As you begin to toss the like or conjure the arcane spell, send it forth 60 feet away and send to cause an explosion. Oh boy, multiple things happen. Oh dear lord. I wish you all the best of luck. So, Farmer, as you're outside, you begin to hear the likes of an explosion from afar. The rest of you may be hearing it if you have a high passive perception, probably like a 17 or higher or so, right? It's a decent bit. But as soon as you hear the explosion, all of you begin to feel the rumbling from below and look to find as a massive individual begins to slowly form their way out of the likes of the ground, forming almost like a little miniature sinkhole or in the area as you see this individual begin to emerge. Oh boy, here we go.
I can't see. It's all dusty.
Boom. If it will, there we go.
Oh no! Oh
You
God!
You see as this individual begins to form. Do I have art for them that I can actually show off? Nope, I don't. So this is what you got. As this happens, they begin to emerge, almost consuming the likes of the dirt and sand below before they start barreling over off to the side. At this point, you begin to look over and, oh God, it gets even worse. Sirius and Phoebe, at this point, you look over and as you unleash the likes of the explosion, another one begins to form only several feet away from you. You look over and it immediately just towers over as it's getting ready to go above and get ready to just barrel down and consume you both. As you see another one right here. And the worst part about it is the second one's coming towards where you threw it.
Oh, wait, so we threw it, right?
You did throw it. You did throw it. This one was going towards you anyways because it was tracking you beforehand. This one is heading towards the direction of you because you threw it in that general direction.
Okay. We got this. We got this. We got this.
This is fine. This is fine.
This is fine. This is the plan.
This is the plan.
At this point, it gets even worse.
Wait, what do you mean?
You look over and immediately you begin to hear another sort of explosion emanate from off to the side. This one, Zale, you almost duck out of the way from out of reaction as it feels only several feet away as you see, well, not see, but you feel an explosion emanate right here as another worm begins to form and start barreling down in the area, slowly starting to make their way towards where they heard the sound and more. Oh God, lots of things happening. Anybody want to take the lead on who wants to go first to deal with this? Oh man.
You let the house crew go first.
All right. Oh, boy.
All right.
Hold on, let me change the I'll change the music in just a moment, y'all.
I need suspense. I need thrill.
All right. I'm just gonna do this.
Chat. Weather. We're really happy if you did.
All right. What we doing, Creelin?
I'm gonna defer to the wisdom of Ilva. Ilva, they're fast enough to outrun these worms, yes?
No.
Well, granted, you guys don't know it's worms because you guys are still inside, unless you want to take a quick peek out.
We kind of discussed it as a worm. Well, we don't really.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys are kind of discussing that it's a worm, but you don't 100% know it's a worm, right?
Yeah, it's not confirmed for them.
Yeah.
We love assuming.
Assuming this thing can travel underground, I would assume that it's faster than we can either run, maybe not fly, but
The winds are whipping. It may be in our favor. Well, my favor to fly. Hopefully with the wind.
Whatever you're doing, it's probably better to stay here and not make any noise.
Okay.
Man.
And then I sit down, Indian style, and just start breathing.
And while you're doing that, oh, go ahead, Elva. Got something?
no, I mean, because that's tough because like the plan was for them to lure it away. So I mean, they're doing that. So I mean, like
we can't really do anything.
I don't think I would open the door again, especially after Farmers walks right out. So I mean, I'm just gonna sit tight.
Yeah,
just wait for a signal.
really can't do anything.
Do I hold on? Do I see? I see them, right? It's enough that I
yeah,
can,
you see the
silhouettes at
purple
least.
worm or whatever off to the side, but you also see it now. It's been a little bit. You do see a little bit of clearing in the desert for a brief moment, and you see as your entire animal pen is a wreck at the moment. It is mangled and it is destroyed. It will need some repairs in the future. But what are you doing, Farmer?
I'm going to create Eldritch Cannon, and I'm going to spawn my spider. And I'm going to choose Force Ballista as its ability.
You gotta give me 1 second, as I gotta go find your Force Spike. What was its name again? It had a name. Professor Spark.
Oh, yeah. Professor Spark.
Professor Spark the Third. Responsible Professor Spark the Third. Gotta make sure to add that.
Yeah.
Responsible.
All right, what would you like to do for Professor Sparks as you summon him forth as it begin to drop down onto the ground?
I'm going to nod to Professor Spark. And I'm basically going to say, I hope you are okay with this. And Professor Spark is going to nod back to me and then start running off. And he's gonna actually jump down. He's gonna jump down, and in his little, in his way, he's going to move and sort of position himself away from the houses, but then also within, I would say, within firing range of any of them if it becomes necessary.
You got it. So that's what Professor Sparks is doing off to the side. Meanwhile, we look towards the ones up shit creek. All right, Phoebe and Sirius, you see a massive worm. Now, if you guys have seen the Call of the League of Legends cinematic, it's basically like Rek'Sai when she came out of the legs of the ground. A massive, just individual worm immediately emerging and getting ready to just barrel down onto both of you. What are you guys doing right now?
I wanted to do what Kaisa and Talali should have done and run.
Well, where you running?
I am going to keep barreling, dashing it also, so that's 80 feet of movement forward.
Forward, okay, so you're continuing out into the storm then.
Yes, through the sands at this point. As far away as we can get from the oasis, and then we're gonna... My plan right now, in my mind, since Sirius can't really relay it, is to keep circling around slowly.
God damn, you gotta have me open up some archive maps, my man. Hold on, give me a minute. I gotcha. So as you are sort of doing this, you're trying to outrun the legs of this worm. All right, what is your speed for a horse, if I could know?
For the token you gave me, it is 40.
40? Let's see what the speed of this worm is, and maybe you'll be in luck. Wormling. But what's the other thing? Nah, that's not right. Hold on, I gotta Google this. That's not right. Okay.
Is also music playing for you guys?
No.
Wait, is it really not?
No.
Okay, I'll start it again. That's weird. Give me 2 seconds, yo.
No, I'm kind of glad. I'm gonna have
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're easily enough able to kind of begin to start outrunning it and outpacing it for a brief moment in time. As this is sort of happening, you do feel the likes of the rumbling and sort of shaking from afar. And as this is going across, you see as this just sort of immediately, almost like kind of like a dolphin going in and out of the ground, in and out of the ground over and over again. And as this is sort of happening, you're able to gain a little bit of speed. At this point, you're about roughly 60 to 80 feet away from it. What are you doing?
Okay, Phoebe, is there anything else you want to do?
No, I just want to get out of here. I'm done. I did my job. Go.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna go another 80 feet forward, and then after that, I'm going to start slowly making my way around.
All right, that said, another 80 feet. At this point, you see as the creature begins to start heading forth. Alrighty, at this point, you look around, make a perception check with the disadvantage for me.
Okay.
What was I looking? All right, and 8, you continue forth into the likes of the sands and more. As this begins to happen, you begin to turn around for a little bit of time, and you begin to hear the likes of the rumbling off to this or over to the right. As this is sort of happening, oh boy, 1 minute, please. Oh my gosh, I got so much stuff going off in the background. 1 second.
Is the music playing for you guys?
It's not playing for me.
How about now? No? Go to the, this is what I do for Matt's game sometimes, and it just happens to work occasionally. If you go to the music tab or whatever, it's like a loop instead. if you just hit like whatever it is, like whatever the name of the thing is, if you just hit like the stop button and then play button over and over again, eventually it'll just work sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I mean sometimes it just happens to work that way.
Yeah, it's sitting at 0 out of 0.
Yeah, you just like hit the orange button or something, or it's either that or like the pause button or something like that. You just keep like pressing it until it just turns on. Sometimes that seems to help. If not, we'll do it the old-fashioned way, and we're gonna link it through, not TerryBot, but we're gonna link it through YouTube, and you guys can play it on your own. If I can copy, yep, this is the one. All right, here you guys go. I'm gonna drop this in the session voice chat or secrets in the Sans chat. Boom and boom. All right, there you guys go. You can play that on your own.
Perfect.
There you go. Now, increased immersion. Anyways, back to death. So, as this is sort of happening, you guys are trying to rush forward and pass, and at this point, Sirius, you try to get back to where you would assume the likes of the houses are, but as this happens, you immediately begin to feel a rumbling over to your left. I'm making a perception check for this guy. Let's see what happens. 13, yeah, that'll be it. You'll see as immediately you're running over to here, you're almost completely circumvented as you see a massive sort of purple worm begins to emerge off to the side. The other ones that you can see, they seem to be sort of dealing with the likes of the sound that you caused, the distraction. But excuse me, oh wait, not this one. I'm talking about this one over here. This one seems to be the one interrupting you off to the sides that gets into your way and begins to look towards you. Fangs and maw abundant with this bit of poison coursing into it. You look inside, it seems to have mouths within mouths. That said, Phoebe, what do you do as you stare this beast down?
I'm gonna try to cast Cause Fear on it.
Ah! Is that towards humanoids or any creature?
It says it can be anything except for undead and something else, but I don't know what the something else was. And I can't think. I'm currently...
Needs to be
Construct.
something that has intelligence.
That's it. Alright, let's see what we got. Cause fear towards them. As you cast a spell, you can describe it, but also make sure to do it through Foundry.
I would like to try, but I am currently out of the Foundry.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. You want me to do it for you?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, cause fear. Let's do this. Boom. Alright, as you begin to conjure the spell forth, you unleash it. They'll need to make a wisdom saving throw DC 14 as you begin to delve into their inner worst nightmares. With an 18, however, that is a nat 20. They are unfrightened at this point. They see their prey, and they are in a greater, or there is no greater position than now. That said, anything else you guys are gonna try to do? You got one last shot.
Hey.
Okay. Okay. So is it in an arc right now?
It is in an arc. Yeah, it's getting ready to just again barrel down towards you.
All right. So maneuvering time. Can I dash almost at it so that it can miss the arc?
Dash at it so it can miss the arc. Oh, okay. I think I see what you're trying to do. All right, Sirius, make a dexterity check compared to the worm. You'll make one as well. Matt, you also said you want to do something as well?
Who, me?
Oh, that's a 1. That was nearly a 19.
I'll just roll for here. It's straight anyway.
That's a 1 as well.
I hate everything.
Oh my
Don't you have
god.
inspiration anymore?
Do I?
If you can't remember, you don't got it, but you gotta have it. Whether you gotta
Did you
track
use
it in
it
the
last
chat.
time?
DM's you can't use the DM's inspiration from the very first session. That was the one. Either you use it that session or you don't.
No, not that one. I mean from last time when you got it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know if you used it or not. I don't remember.
I only used mine last session. I remember it clearly. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll use it.
Yeah, I remember I used my DM's inspiration last session. I remember getting one for someone.
All right. Well, you can use it now. See what you got. Come on, buddy. 13. Okay, we didn't get the 1 in 400. We didn't get the natural 1 on top of that. Dear
You
Lord.
would have gotten an achievement.
You would have gotten an achievement or a free magic item.
I don't want that achievement again.
Alright, so that said, with a 1 versus a 13, you dash forward towards it as you're able to dodge out of its way for a brief moment in time, but it is still chasing after you. Farmer, you did have something that you want to do, but it is This thing is on your tail. It is not leaving the chase.
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
You.
I can't get back into my foundry right now, so if you could do this for me,
Mhm.
I want to move my character to the. Oh, okay, I'm back. So I'm gonna move my character as far forward as possible, and I'm going to move Professor Spark the Third a total of 60 feet out, so that he is still activatable.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it like right here. So that, something like that. Make sure my distance is correct. Yep, it is. And from my position, I'm going to force ballista this purple wormling.
Oh my goodness, that's it. Make an attack roll with the Force Ballista as you fire it off with Professor Sparks. It's time.
Okay, so force ballista, let's go. This is going to be a attack roll.
17, that will hit. Roll some damage.
All right, damage.
Ooh, 10 points of force damage. Oh gosh, yeah. With the single sort of cracking from the ballista bolt, it strikes into the wormling and nearly almost sends them sort of crashing back down into the ground almost out of instinct. For a brief moment in time, you hear as it begins to screech out in anger, and it will begin to just almost get even more enticed to try to kill anything or anyone in sight. It'll make a perception check to see if it sees you, but it's not really the greatest at it. Except for today. As a natural 20. You see as the worm begins to look down, and it sees Professor Sparks. It sees the big horse and the woman on top of the thing. Decisions. Does it go for a robot that's like tiny, or does it go for a full-on horse and a woman?
Well, there's only one thing attacking it right now.
There's only one thing attacking it, but food. I'll tell you what, roll a D100, Matt. It's a little far-fetched, but I'll give you the shot. 99.
96.
For the time being, you'll see as it is angry, it is trying to figure out what was the cause of it. You'll see as it starts barreling over towards Professor Sparks III. Alright, for the time being. But it will keep a mental note of where Sirius and Phoebe are. Alright, Sirius and Phoebe, you guys can keep going.
I'm moving forward. At this point, I'm still not gonna make it toward the house since this worm has our attention.
Go to
Alright,
the water.
so-
Go to the water. Go to the water.
The water's a good idea. I'm just gonna keep moving forward, like 80 feet that way. What's 80 feet?
Towards
Hang
the
on.
house.
Let me...
You're headed towards the house.
Yes.
That said, you begin to head over off to the side. Both of you make perception checks once more. Or excuse me, not perception checks, Constitution saving throws.
Where the hell? I'm the Sandstorm. I can't see.
Yeah, you're right here. There you go. It's too immersive, goddamn, Sensei!
Okay, perception.
No, Constitution saving throw. That was misspoke.
Constitution. Okay.
9, and I need one from Phoebe. Wait. Oh wait, you're still not in Foundry. My bad. Constitution save. That's an 11. That is a 9. Sirius, you are blind at the moment, and Phoebe, you can barely even see much yourself. You look over off to the side, and as this is sort of happening, Phoebe, you look over and you can barely see something just almost emerging, and immediately it is a palm tree, and Sirius is getting ready to strike smack dab into it. That's it. What are you doing, Phoebe, to get his attention, if anything?
No. I'm just gonna pull him a little bit towards the left or something.
Alright, that said, Sirius, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw with advantage. But DC's a little high. Come on, you got this.
Okay, with advantage.
I don't know. That is
18.
a 2 and an 18. Thank God for the 18. You just barely missed the legs of the tree, almost hitting the legs of your leg, Phoebe, onto it, and you're able to keep on going unaffected. That said, is there anybody doing anything in the house at the moment, or are you just all still waiting for a signal?
I'd like to do a thing, but I'll let the house figure out what they're doing first.
Oh, so house team, what can we even do in this situation?
We heard. We didn't even hear like the thunder thing too, because the wind was so
Nope.
strong, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So like we're like realistically, we're just like chilling, and like we're just being patient.
Yes.
Well, keep in mind, you did hear, I mean, at most, you did hear one explosion to your right and then another explosion that only inches away from your left. But that's about
Did we
it.
not hear the loud slithering noises they were making?
Oh, most definitely. You feel them.
Yeah.
You saw as
I
one
would feel them
was...
going away, though. We would feel
You did
that,
you
right?
did feel them going away for a bit of time, but now you begin to feel one heading back towards you.
Oh my fucking god.
I would like to poke my beak out the door and just see from whatever angle I can to see what I can see, because I feel it coming closer. I just want to see what it is.
All right, make a
And
perception check with a disadvantage.
Dip back in. Disadvantage is that.
2, a 6. Between the likes of the Sandstorm, you're not able to see exactly from this position. You'd have to go further out or try to get an elevated position, but that's a little bit dangerous. Your choice.
Alright, I'll come back in the house and I'll sit back Indian style again and I can take freedom.
You got it, buddy. All right, anybody else before we go to Farmer?
No.
All right, Farmer, what you got for us?
Okay, so Professor Spark has a bit of movement, I presume. So
Yeah.
I need to measure exactly 45 feet away. Boom, right there. How high does this thing leap, by the way?
Leap? It's spanning about large size. If in full, I mean it can be up to about 20 to 30 feet total, like in height. If it was to really jump out of the likes of the hole and then bury itself again.
Really? Oh, if it was to do that.
But that's assuming like it jumped all the way out, just like in its full sort of form.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm trying to get about 50, like 20 to 30 feet. You're saying?
Yeah, 20 to 30 feet in length. Granted, it's not doing that right now though.
It's not doing it right now. Gotcha. So I get to unveil an ability that I have acquired since this past level, and that is a feat called telekinetic.
Oh.
And I am gonna move Professor Spark the third at distance, and then I'm gonna lift him up off the ground
Oh my
into
god.
the air. But the ratio,
okay.
the amount that I lift him up depends upon how far away he is, because I could get a total of 60 feet out of my mage hand, instead of 30 feet. So if I cast Mage Hand, no matter what, it's going to appear in front of me, which means it's going to need to travel to Professor Spark. So I need to figure out where Professor Spark is going to end. So actually, I'm going to move my token to the very edge here, and then I'm going to measure, let's say...
Well, I don't want to put a damper on your plans. First, I do probably need you to make a perception check to even be able to see Professor Spark out there, because that is way past your sort of visibility range in the likes of the storm.
Well, I can control Professor Spark, so
I'm not worried about that. It's more the mage hand.
Blinds?
Yeah, be more so that being able to control the mage hand. But then at 20, you look over, you know exactly where Professor Sparks is, and you're even able to do a little bit of math and calculations on where you'd probably need to be and throw your spell. So you're good.
I got holographic vision. What I'm gonna do is they already destroyed this, so I'm gonna cast my mage hand, bring my mage hand out 35 feet right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move Professor Spark there. Oh shoot, how far does Professor Spark actually move? Is it I'm trying to remember, is it a full 30? It can move.
I hate this animation, but here we are.
It is.
I
I hate it. I hate it so
His
much.
hand, it wants to touch
Oh,
us.
what is that?
I hate it. But we need a
My
visual,
hand.
damn it.
The hand is
hand.
so creepy.
And
Oh, it's got to be 15 feet. Well, shit. That's fine. So, what we say, 35. That's going to be 50. Oh, well, 40. Whatever. We're going to do that. And then that. So, right here, actually.
all right. Yeah. Gotcha. That's where you're moving it. That said, all right.
That's where
So
I'm moving Professor Spark. So, I'm going to move him, and then I'm going to take the rest of the movement, and I'm going to raise him up. I think that's going to be, only 15 feet, I guess.
keep in mind, can you do all this in one turn or?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. So as you're moving him far up, how far is he going? That's the only other question I need.
Let's see. In order to make this work, he's gonna be he's
Yeah,
moving
you're
15
right.
feet, and then he's gonna be raised up 15 feet off the ground.
All right, that said, if that's the case, you'll see as the individual, the worm will try to look over towards the likes of this sort of strange hand moving, and at this point, you see as hold on, make sure I got this right.
Actually, the hand is invisible.
And is invisible. If that's the
Yeah.
case, Professor Sparks is out of the area. He is not on the ground. You watch as the worm begins to sense over for a little bit. It looks around, and it does not see anything anymore. At a certain point, does it have the? I'm trying to think. Can it see like in the air or whatever? Because I'm pretty sure these things, has that, and then the other thing, insight.
They don't got
Did
eyes.
they have more of a tremor sense?
Yeah, they have a
Did they
tremor
have
sense if you're on the
sense?
ground. He's in the air.
Okay.
One. Yeah, he is. At this point, he's uninterested anymore.
Booyah! Save
He's-
Professor Spark!
That being said, Professor Spark is free to go to do what he needs to do. He's gonna just keep barreling over towards the that general direction that he saw the others, and that is it.
Oh, no.
At this point, all right, Sirius and Phoebe, what you guys doing?
Legit couldn't see them.
Running
There,
Dash
over
it.
here,
forward.
dashing forward again. All right, between the likes of this, you're able to keep on moving forward for a little bit of time. But both of you, or make Constitution saving throws once more. Oh. 19, you guys are good, but Phoebe, let's see what you got.
Wait, fuck. Where am I?
Come on.
Over here.
Here I am. 20.
20. Between the both of you, you guys are able to sort of peer or go through the likes of the Sandstorm, and you're free to leave. You hear a bit of rumbling off to the side, but after a bit of a while, you hear the rumbling begin to slowly fade and fade and fade until you no longer feel the shaking of the ground. With that, you look over, expecting like any more bits of shaking, any more explosions, but none begin to emerge. With that,
Noticing that, Sirius just go into a trot and stop by the water.
all right, and with that, I'm gonna close this out and then do this. You trot over towards the likes of the water and more, and at this point, you look over and you see as the sandstorm is slowly coming to the likes of a close. You're almost sort of through the mist of it. In fact, if you were to actually sort of keep dashing through it directly on, that'd be it'd be dangerous, but you could probably get to the other side easily enough. But eventually, you sort of rush over towards where you would assume the water to be, and you stop by for a second. That said, what are you two doing?
Or Sirius kind of like trotting around the water slowly.
Are
So
we
far-
safe?
You don't hear
I
anything.
can't speak, remember?
You don't hear anything at the moment.
Okay. I'm gonna let Nuna into the water, actually.
Easy enough. You'll see as she begins to sort of slow her down for a little bit of time. And as this is sort of occurring, let me change this real quick. Alright. as she begins to drop down into like the water pool, she'll slither around for a little bit, and you too would notice as the sandstorm now is starting to begin to clear for a brief moment, and eventually your sight is coming towards you slowly but surely. There is still sand forming, but definitely nowhere near as violent as it was previously. Seems to be that you have survived for the time being, as dangerous of an attempt it was. But hey, you didn't, no one died, no one got injured. You guys did it.
I'm gonna start moving Professor Spark as far as I can, sort of in their direction, and then they're gonna hear a buzzing and a whirring, sort of like an R2-D2, just like victorious.
Hearing a random noise, you're just gonna buck and
Shut the fuck up!
But you're gonna see this mechanical spider in air, and its front legs are gonna be doing like a little dance, like
my worst nightmare. I'm letting you know that.
Oh man. Said that is what's happening. And meanwhile, but those of you inside of the establishment, well, Farmer, you would definitely be able to see as the sandstorm begins to form. You kind of have to keep your hat on before. You pretty much have been having to hold your hat the entire time, but you're good to go. That said, what are the rest of you all doing over in this general direction here?
You can come out now. Crisis has been averted.
Just gonna like slowly open the door.
You look over and the sand is still forming, but it's definitely nowhere near as violent. You could probably walk out and probably be safe for now. No immediate danger.
What's even better is,
and I lift up the potted plant. Oh, I should ask, by the way, is the plant still alive?
If you were holding this, hey man, it was either your hat or the potted plant. Which one were you prioritizing?
I'm keeping my hat.
Yeah, I mean the plant. I mean, you maybe put it onto the side. It's definitely sand filled and more. It's not broken, like the base didn't break.
For comedic effect, I am gonna lift up the pots. Like,
thankfully, this plant. Oh. Oops.
Easy enough.
That's two. That's two so far. Maybe we'll get three.
With Phoebe still in tow, I'm gonna make our way back towards the houses.
All right.
Are you turning back, or are you still a horse?
I'm still a horse.
Okay.
That said, as you all begin to emerge, you look over and there definitely is some destruction about. All right, let's talk about this. So, this area over here is this. Oh, that is way bigger than I wanted it to be. Hold on. Oh, I guess it changed all my settings and stuff. Give me 1 second. Let's do 20. That's a text. Nope. That's 4. Jen's here.
Oh no.
Oh my god, what is going on? Alright, give me a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. Never mind, you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Not our pig pen.
Yeah.
We can't have anything in Voden! Nothing!
Oh man. Lines. Try that again. Why is it saying new text? I don't want text.
I want a line.
I want a line, damn it. We can't have it. Alright, here, we'll do this. How about this?
We can't have shit in
Why is it
Voden.
new text? Fuck it, you get the idea. You get the idea.
I got it. My immersion's here.
Yeah.
That being said, as this sort of happens, you look over and half of your sort of fences are destroyed, but it seems to be your houses are still intact, the tower off to the side is still intact, and more, but over here it seems to be a little bit of destruction, and like so, you got all of your materials and more, so it's not really anything destroyed here, it's more so just kind of a sinkhole from where the worm was.
Oh. Single.
I knew it.
Yeah, damn right. That's how we do it around here.
kind of looking back towards Phoebe, I'm gonna start gnawing on the rope and start pulling it.
What? Okay, do I have to get off or something? Why don't you just turn back? I don't understand.
I keep pulling up the rope.
Okay, I get off.
You're still tied.
I'm gonna
No,
land Professor Spark right on Animus's back.
Alright, you got it. Just crawling up the legs of the horse. What?
I'm gonna kill this man.
Oh man, it was at that moment Professor Spark got drop kicked.
At
God.
that point, Sirius starts bucking a bit, and in the midst of the bucking, he's gonna start slowly turning back into Sirius. Oh, what? The rope is like, oh. We did it!
Woo!
Woo! You'll see as Nuna just says from the legs of your pocket. Oh, whoops, I didn't drag a token. Nice. You look over and about, and though your base is a little bit destroyed in parts, it could have been a lot worse. You could have lost your lives, and even your houses, things that you had prided yourselves on, could have been destroyed. Seems to be that you were able to defend yourselves for this time being. That said, what do you all say, and what do you all do?
Zale's gonna go to the. You're both okay. I mean, I knew you would be fine, but you're both. He's gonna hug both of them now. I was really worried. I'm sorry. I'll let go.
Just feel a giant palm just kind of pat your head. Consent is a shearing sound. I do not suggest going very close to those worms. They're most very teethy.
How many of them are there?
I felt 3 swords rumblings, so I assumed there were 3 of them. We met one very personally.
I'm gonna send Professor Spark to kind of examine the sinkhole a little bit.
Sure thing. How far are you sending them down there?
I mean, Professor Spark is a pretty lightweight creature, so I feel pretty confident about sending Professor Spark down there. And that I could always grab them and see if I could pull them out if they sink.
Yeah, easy enough. They kind of look down and about, and you see as it is just, it's not as big as probably the mat or the sort of circle, but it's fairly big for the size of the worm itself. And inside you mainly see, hold on, that is for that part. Again, just mainly sort of dirt and sand and more soil, bits of rocks and stone kind of carved out and out of the way. But it leads through the likes of a massive sort of tunneling system, from what you can tell.
So, whoa, let me make sure I heard that correctly. It goes down into a tunnel.
Not necessarily into a tunnel, it's its own tunnel, if that makes more sense.
Its
like
own
the tunnel, like the tunnel was making while it was burrowing in the ground, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, but this tunnel doesn't have like you can't send something into the tunnel in the hopes that it'll come out the other side of something.
You don't know where the other side is, to be fair. But you can start heading this way if you want. Because this is where the sinkhole would start forming, or excuse me, the tunnel-ish area would start coming from.
It seems that we might have a tunnel.
That's all.
How very astute.
A great observation.
Trembling in that information.
Is that the only sinkhole we see?
At the moment, unless you want to go exploring a little bit more, then at like in immediate vicinity, yeah. This is the only one that would seem to be very, how you say, not noticeable, not out there. Most damaging to the point where you could probably just jump down it if you really, really wanted to. The other ones were just caved in by more sort of sand and soil.
This poses a problem.
I think it's a problem we can maybe fix one other day. I suggest we get some
more
rest.
opportunity.
I'm curious. How so for both? How a problem and how an opportunity?
Well, for our problem is if they come back, they have a straight shot for us, and since these things came this way, it means that this area is not super safe. So we'd probably have to deal with these worms some way, somehow. But to jump on to what Farmer mentioned, we could use the tunnels as a way to, like, I don't know, whatever means we see fit, essentially. If the sandstorms are as crazy as this rate, or can be even worse depending on the weather, we could have like an underground network. But yeah, the pressing issue is that they can come back, and we do have a way to them. We just follow the hole, essentially.
Question. So, I can't necessarily see what direction this tunnel leads, like, in totality, but, you know, we're right next to a large body of water, and I'm starting to think, like...
Reservoir?
Yeah.
Well, in character series, is gonna suggest before we make many altercations before the waters here, an audience with the Queen of the Lake here might have to be prioritized.
Come again?
We have to talk to the lake lady before we start touching her water.
The lake lady, huh? Okay.
Is it just you that got an audience with her?
No, only Nuna.
Well, if we want, as you'll see, she started speaking in Primordial. If you want, we can just do this now. I can go get her. It's nighttime.
I relay that in common. You know, like.
I am gonna slide down into the sinkhole.
What?
Oh.
And actually be in the sinkhole.
What?
All right. Do you have dark vision as a Warforged?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Well, I can create bonfire for light.
All right, create a simple bonfire. All right. Most that you kind of see is over towards, again, the general direction. You see as the hole it's big enough for you to probably fit 1 to 2 people, maybe side by side, sort of probably 2 people side by side comfortably. 3 is pushing it though. You look over and it seems to go on for who knows how long. It probably going along the likes of the Oasis and more. Past that, that's really what you see as it kind of begins here.
Question for you then. I want to judge whether this tunnel is pre-existing or if this was just created in this instant. By kind of observing and understanding the age of the walls and stuff like that.
Farmer, make a perception check or investigation check for me.
Investigation.
10.
Oh,
okay. Nothing of note for now. But you look over, and from what you can tell, it doesn't seem to be pre-existing. This seems to have been made by the likes of the purple wormling.
Okay. That at least puts my character a little bit more at ease, because like, what is the if there was a pre-existing tunnel here, that means that this wasn't the first time that they've passed this way, and it's more likely they'll pass this way again. But if this is a new tunnel, they're probably just going in a direction, and there's no guarantee that they would come back, and they just probably leave tunnels in their wake. That's my thought process, at least. I sort of want to kind of just move down the tunnel a little bit. Not too far, because also I need to know what the structural integrity of this is before I start doing this. Can I do is that an investigation? I already did it.
Yeah, investigation or nature, one or the other. Or survival, actually, probably be better, but 23, you're fine for investigation. You look over at it, and it's definitely going to need some supports. You think and gather that it probably isn't the safest to be down here right now without any sort of bit of structures or support beams or anything of the sorts. Confirming and ensuring that you won't be crushed down here.
Okay, I will not travel down the scary tunnel. And I will I'll just go to the other side where it goes off and kind of measure how or figure out with a bonfire casting how far I can see down the other direction.
The other direction, is there really another direction over here that you can see from this sinkhole? Because it literally, well, out of game, it leaped from this area and then buried into another area, which then got caved in afterwards.
Gotcha. So
it's just one single hole right now.
That's the only one that exists. Okay, well, I'm start climbing out.
All right. You see this farmer begins to arrive, climbing out and more. Anybody else doing anything while that's sort of happening?
Just gonna plop down on the ground. Was there anything to find at the farm besides mostly the makings of the worms?
Well, it seems the integrity of the tunnel that has been created is, well, it could use improvement, but with some structural support, it can sustain itself.
I am fond of the idea of utilizing this newfound hole. What say you about you saw this more as a liability?
Sorry, was that to me?
Yes.
Oh.
Sail perception check with sight.
Not a liability. I'm just worried, concerned that they'll come back. Because, I'm not too sure. Because, we heard the rumblings around us. But then we also heard, a loud roar, scream, a mile-ish out. I'm not too sure if it was connected or the same worms. I don't know if it's, the mother worm. That's all I'm really concerned with. I'm happy to utilize what they've done, and then she'll kind of look to the pen or destroyed. It could benefit us to utilize this in some way, shape, or form, but I would just hate if we started to work on it and then all of a sudden they just come back through the same hole, and then all our work and progress is for naught. So utilizing it, I'm for, but I would be more at ease if we knew somehow if they wouldn't come back, or at the very least, if they had left this land.
If it is any consolation, I have determined that this tunnel is not pre-existing in any way, shape, or form. So this is not at least this one is not a frequent avenue for such creatures.
Maybe when I don't know. I don't know much about worms, if they just travel from wherever they want, kind of thing. I don't know if even this water thing will have any answers, but maybe we could find out. Maybe it knows anything about why they would come this way, or if it's just their instinct just to travel from place to place. I think that would put my mind at ease if we had some sort of answer.
We can bring up that question to the queen of the oasis here. And what the sinkhole? If they came from the sands, I believe that will solve one problem as far as maybe them returning. And to secure such a thing, we can somehow collapse it even more, so it'll give them, with their strength, maybe less time to re-emerge from the same places, these pre-made holes.
Yeah.
Seems they were motivated by hunger, at least at observation.
Maybe persuade?
Yeah, it's like again, that just leads to like why they came this direction. So, questions for another time, I suppose.
That being said, while you guys are having this conversation, Zale, you begin to hear a sort of talking and murmuring over off to the side, and you look over behind you roughly. In the very, very small corner, you see as two spirits are looking over, but one in a sort of hard hat and more, and another one who seems to be a little bit more special, a little bit more senior than the other one. You look over and you see Billroy, the senior builder spirit.
God. That's
you look good.
amazing.
You look good.
Boom!
Aw.
Shout out to Finn for being able to make that. You can also look over up to the top. There's an A,
Not Among Us.
but it kind of did look like Among Us, but you do see another little smaller spirit there.
Horrible.
Among Us spirit.
A real
No.
go-getter. Oh, man. But you'll see as they're kind of just talking. Oh, no. This is going to take a little bit, but we're going to need to get to work. But first, we got to talk to them to make sure that we can actually get paid for this sort of whole thing. All right, come on, recruit. Let's go see what they want. And that being said, Zale, you'll be the first one to probably notice them sort of approaching towards you guys.
Hey, we got builder spirits coming our way.
Oh, they can probably help us with this.
Sorry for the intrusion, but we did notice there is a massive sort of, well, bits of destruction everywhere. How can we assist, sir? And ma'am, everyone, how can we assist, please?
Fix it.
Well, hold up.
Okay, hold on.
Before you just fix it, what is the maintenance cost to repair it?
Well, looking at this, all right, so from what it sounds like out of game, you don't want to really repair this sinkhole, if anything. You kind of want to leave it here. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah.
Eat.
Okay, so that won't cost any repairs. This thing over here will definitely cost a little bit of repairs. Let me go pull up the notes for how much the what do you call it? The farm cost crafting wise. Give me a minute, and I will get that to you. Base building, farm. Garden. Or no, this wasn't a farm. I don't know why I called it a farm. I was thinking of Valley of Dreams. This is a animal pen. Alright, it costed initially 2. Alright, it's only gonna cost 1 and then 1 soul coin as well. Not too much. 1 material, 1 soul coin.
So if it's gonna cost that to repair it, does anyone know where the birds went?
I sent them away. They will be making their ways back after the Sandstorm clears up.
Okay.
How much soul coins and materials do we have again?
Well, if we want, we can go check a look at the magnificent splash screen to go check out your resources. One moment. Alright,
The menu. Hit pause.
Wow.
Alright, Secrets in the Sands. You guys are at about... Your food and water restocks are about to go down in a minute because you guys are going to eat and consume them. Materials, you got 15 out of 20 and then 6 out of 20 soul coins.
Quick question then, how much is the light clothing gonna cost us to craft?
You guys have not started crafting your clothing, anything, so... Oh
We
boy.
need a long rest to do that!
That's fair. That is fair.
Stated intention
And we kind of have
is
worms.
what we need.
Yeah, but how much will it cost?
It
For, like,
will cost... Let me go see if I can... this is in the crafting menu. Give me a minute. Rules crafting page. There we go. Boom. I don't know if it or says it here. Okay, 2 materials for clothing with actual mechanics and all that stuff, so you don't burn or fucking die from a heat stroke.
Okay, 5 times.
So if you guys are all gonna craft something clothing wise, it would cost you about 10 materials, 12. Well, you'd probably you'd have to include your. Well, actually, do the NPCs have to deal with that? Let me think. Form a decision. I will
Not
say no. I won't make you guys have to worry about all of your followers and stuff like that. That'll just be a passive thing. So only got to worry about yourselves. So 10 bits of materials for, or excuse me, 12 bits of materials for all of you.
12.
And this clothing is for the night specifically?
Not the night specifically, just having desert ready
Apparel.
sort of apparel, and then so it's kind of like light, but also like when it comes to the nighttime, then you don't freeze to death. So you'll probably have 2 sets of clothing. You don't have to make 2 sets. It's just you'll thematically have 2 sets.
Gotcha.
All right. So let's go back to the Oasis map.
And how much will the repair of the pen cost?
1 material and 1 soul coin.
Yep.
So we're at 11. Okay, so 11 materials for all of that.
12.
12.
12 because it's 6 of you.
Shit, I forgot about that part.
Frickin'
So-
bird.
So 12 materials total because there's 6 players. 1 material on top of that to make it 13, and then so 13 materials, 1 soul coin. Boom, math.
15 materials.
Yep, so you're good to go. You'll probably need to go scavenging soon though, because you guys also have building costs for. Unless you really want the builder spirits to go into a workers union, you do have to actually pay expenses for some of these buildings. I'll check if you have to do it for any of these that you have. I might be wrong with that. Yeah, there is a upkeep cost of 1 material each for each house that you have. So that'll be an extra 2. So you're looking at 15 total.
So
Do
0.
Gardens have anything? Nope. Or excuse me, not gardens. Animal pens. Nope. They don't have material upkeep. Yeah. So you will be out of everything if you want to build all your clothing materials now.
Well, if we have to, we have to.
Oh, you gotta redeem.
Oh shoot. Bro, giving a group of PCs a survival resource. Bro, let me know in chat which resource you would like to give. Would it be materials, food, medicine? What you want for them?
So if we're going to be taking the opportunity to doing, like clothes, construction, and or gathering of stuff, I realize that there's still the opportunity to do something with the ring, or sorry, not the ring mail, but the chain mail, because I can once again use my ability and create smith's tools and then see if we could reform it into something or dismantle it into materials. I don't know.
I don't know if it's wise to dismantle it, but maybe reforge it for you and Siri.
In what way?
Like just any type of way to get your AC up, kind of thing. Like you're metal, so I don't know. Maybe you take parts of the chainmail and just attach to your body or something.
Yeah, question. Is the chainmail heavy armor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I only wear light and medium.
Ah.
So studded leather probably the best. We can downgrade it that way.
And I mean, I'll leave it to you. Yeah, I'll leave it to you. I'm not really wishy-washy on the whole thing. Druids can't wear metal, yada yada yada. I don't really care that much.
wanna survive.
There's the opportunity to do like a chain shirt that's medium armor. And I guess I could potentially
These are
make that for myself.
times.
Go from chainmail to chain shirt. I don't feel like that would be very difficult.
Just take off the sleeves.
All right.
So
Like sock puppets.
So I do have good news. Brawlhoo gave out 1 material resource to you all. So you have 16. So if you all want to build this now, then you will have 1 material stock left over.
So good.
Yeah, I think if we need it, yeah, we might as well.
Yeah.
So, are we doing this are we getting ready for bed too? Since it's night, or
Well, I think we should set up our plan of action we want to do this little water thing, and then when we're done the water,
right, yeah. Because the queen kind of suggests we meet her at the first sighting of the moon. So if you guys want to do that, we can handle that first and come back from that. And
let's
then
give our order to the builders,
Mhm.
and then while we do the queen thing, when we come back, everything's sorted. Maybe ?
You can give out your order for the builders out of
Yep.
character. You don't have to worry about it because we're obviously running low on time.
So quick
Okay.
question. Serious. Would you like studded leather?
yeah, I'll use that.
Okay. So why don't I give you my studded leather and then do the creation of the smithing's tools and then dismantle the ring or the chainmail into chain shirt, which is something I can wear.
And how long would that take? Is that well? We'll do that at the downtime.
It
So,
takes
yeah.
it takes an hour to make the tools, and it's up to Sensei how long it takes for me to work on that.
So for the
Okay.
tools and crafting and anything like that, all crafting stuff takes the span of a short rest. You can do it over a long rest if you want, but it at least takes a minimum of a short rest.
Okay, I will do that.
Alrighty, so let's do this. So who's all heading towards the Water Queen? Into the water and stuff like that.
Yeah, Sirius is going. He needs to translate.
Yeah, he's the translator on this one. Is Farmer gonna do this stuff while we're doing the water thing?
Yeah, we don't need everybody to do the water thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Phoebe, you wanted to go because Nuna's involved.
I want to come because Nuna's there. And I'm a
Zell, what do you
supportive
wanna do?
mom.
I mean, I'm down to go, but I don't really have a purpose to be there other than the point and smile.
Yeah, charisma. We need that.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'll come then. Oh wait!
Yo,
Damn it.
Krillin!
Idea, Animus, idea. You can just say the words to me, and I can use the attribute feat to just mimic them.
Can he do that DM?
What? It's saying...
I'm just asking. Double
To
checking.
mimic him, I mean, you'd be just saying the same thing that he said. It would just be like a parrot.
Yeah! I don't see why it wouldn't work. It would
So it'd just be you just repeat the same thing. So it'd just be like, yes, how's
You're
your
my
day going? Yes, how's your day going?
You be my
No,
hype
no,
man.
no. The idea is you
Go for
whisper it in my ear, and then
Oh.
I say it to her.
That
So
won't be.
basically-
I mean, you whisper it, you mimic it. I mean, it won't work out as the way you kind of. I mean, you'll be able to make persuasion checks and stuff like that, but it'll be a disadvantage. I mean, you're naturally charismatic, but it won't really work the way you think it will. Like it's like 100% perfectly. It'll be a little bit weird.
Undercommon at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get the accent wrong. You'll get the wrong hyphen. You kind of say the wrong. You kind of say
Water
something bad.
good.
I mean,
you.
If you guys are talking about this, you'll just see as Nuna just says, serious, and she's speaking in elemental. She does speak common, if that's a thing.
Animus Pogs. Seriously, Pogs. That is my creative.
So,
Oh, so I guess yes. Said if you would like to come, provide a
Well-
few good words.
my talents come.
Ah,
It seems. Oh, I hit my headphones. Ow.
What is Krillin? Would he like to join us or stay with the rest?
Where is Freeland?
Meanwhile,
Freeland is-
inside Indian
Oh.
style.
Meditating, breathing deep. He kind of feels like things have passed, so he's actually meditating about the heavenly path and reminiscing on his experience and just seeing himself there.
Easy enough. That's what he's doing. All right, well, at this point, so I got Zale, I got Sirius, I got Phoebe and Nuna for the Water Queen. Ilva, you are going with them or are you staying back?
Is there? Siri, what do you think? Is there any purpose of 4 people going?
If you would like to get a gauge on the real Water Queen, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
And is this water queen just like a bigger Nuna?
Yes.
Or
Or Nuna. I'll refer to Nunas for that. Yeah.
No, she's really, really pretty. The people down there, they're kind of like me, but not all of them.
Nuna, you're also really pretty.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Oh, thank you.
And then they control the water to the oasis.
Yes. They
Alright.
claim this as their own.
Okay.
We will be diplomatic. have a
yeah, there's like
diplomatic, mission.
Well, actually,
I
no.
agree.
She doesn't know that. Never mind.
I'll come with you.
Okay. So with that,
Make sure to ask about the sinkhole.
okay,
Why?
that
Have in the reservoir?
Why are we asking about the sinkhole?
for another water
Because
reservoir.
because some of us want to do nothing with the sinkhole, and I at least want to ask about it.
Yeah.
No, but what are we asking? No,
Yeah, we
that's
use
the
the
question I'm
sinkhole.
asking.
About what is their experience with the worms? And B, is it okay if we siphon off water into this sinkhole/reservoir?
Yeah, I got you. I'll ask.
Okay.
I'll ask Siri, and then Siri, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Said, if that's the case, everybody who is going towards the water, you guys can move your tokens directly towards there. As this is sort of happening, Kaya will begin to look over before and sort of kind of look over and kind of nod towards you guys. Oh, I wish you the best of luck with your wanderings and journey. It has been an interesting time with the likes of all of you.
Gonna miss you. Hug.
Persuasion check, Phoebe.
You know, I was like, oh god, recoil.
Yeah, 8. I'm fine. Maybe another time. When...
High five?
Persuasion check.
Come on, dude.
He doesn't like people.
He's so edgy.
Come on, what is wrong with my rolls?
It's that Tsundere debuff.
9. He just looks at his hand and is just like,
I'll extend out my hand for a handshake and go best to travel safe.
he'll reach out for a high five and then he'll just go down to shake awkwardly Ilva's hand, and then it's yeah. Thank you.
You can practice.
Okay, bye.
It's okay.
It was been another.
I'm not good at that goodbye thing. Whatever.
Safe
Anywho.
travels, Kyle.
Please be safe. And remember, you can always come back. We wouldn't mind, or at least I wouldn't.
Well, I assume this
You're
won't be the
welcome,
last
yeah.
time that we see each other anyways. After all, I have to go to the Samadan tribe, and you said that eventually you'd stop by there, or vice versa. No. In time, I'm sure we'll make acquaintance again. That said, you'll see as he nods, and he'll begin to look over towards all of you. To them, and begin to slowly shapeshift into the likes of a small sort of bird. Begin to start flying off past over the sort of oasis, water, and more. You'll see as you go at it at an incline to go up the likes of this massive sort of cliff up the edge, but he is gone until never to be seen until the next time.
Bye.
I'd like to get back Timmy with you.
That said, also Sean, aka Agni from Valley Dreams, gave a mana resource to the likes of all of you. Congratulations.
Wow.
Write that down.
Yeah. I'll have to repay the favor.
Alright, mana, 1 mana. Alright, so as you guys begin to head over to the likes of the water, you begin to call over the likes of Nuna to help out and assist. Eventually, you'll see as she begins to dive into the water for the sake of brevity. And eventually sort of motion for you all to sort of enter, but not too far. Not too far, to keep your distance for sure.
Guys, before we start, what are we supposed to say?
We will discuss a treaty of some sort, so no hostility will come between us. We will
Okay.
ask for permission to use the waters and see about a reservoir for the sinkhole.
Okay.
And also information about the sandworms if they have any.
Okay, what do you want to come first then?
We'll see in order. I have no preferences as such. I'll just keep going, wading through the waters.
That said, Nuna calls you all over to where she is, and then after that, she will dive in. You guys move your tokens over there, but as this sort of happens, it takes a bit of time, about 5-ish to 10-ish minutes, before eventually you'll see as Nuna rises out of the likes of the water, and then looks over towards you all. Hey, where's Phoebe?
Yo!
Oh, there she is.
Through the
Okay.
water?
Well, here she comes. At this point, you'll see as... Oh, boy. 1 second, if you may. If I may get their theme.
They have a theme. They have a theme.
Nami.
A boss theme.
Goddamn right it is. A boss theme. Everybody, roll for initiative.
I thought it was diplomatic.
I don't care.
That don't sound like a pretty lady.
Angry water nymph. Is that Shiva?
Well, as this begins to happen, you look over and you see as a massive sort of rift begins to slowly open itself, a swirling of water and more from several portions of this this massive oasis. You look over and you see as the water itself begins to slowly almost build and grow in size and begins to manifest into an actual humanoid-ish sort of monstrosity of a being, multiples of them, and you see as they have the likes of these sort of spears and tridents even. As they are armed to the teeth, you look over and find armored individuals. And these individuals over off to the side, water elementals even. You look over as they begin to sort of swarm over, and as this happens, you see as massive sort of serpent or water serpent dragons begin to slowly form, surrounding the entire area. As they do, all of them are armed in either armor or weapons, before eventually you look over and you see another individual appear. Someone of sort of feminine nature. You see as she has these sort of massive fins for ears, long sort of bluish hair with a sort of white pale face with these beautiful blue eyes. You look over towards her as she has this massive crown, and as she emerges, you see this individual.
Queen.
At this point,
Queen, slay.
you look over towards her, and as this happens, you look as she begins to give nod towards you all, begins to slightly wave, and as she waves, you look towards the palm of her hand, and you see a blue swirl upon the palm, a marking similar to Sirius's. And with that, that's where we're gonna have to end the session as we are at time.
Why is she so pretty?
This isn't.
Oh shit! I gotta connect with Nifa.
Also, this isn't the first time she's ever been in the Auroraverse, by the way.
You said what now?
But we'll have to figure all that out next week on Secrets in the Sands.
I'm literally loving all of this. I love the water. Oh.
There was a other campaign where she was actually a part of, and I hinted to her having a blue mark long ago. I think it was actually a year ago. And I said, hey, write this down. This may be relevant later. But we'll have to figure all that stuff out next week.
That's
like OMG new cosplay. This is
where you at now?
Yo, you single? Yo.
This is
Yo, stay the
Straftara.
fuck away.
I noticed that not all the water elementals are the same.
Oh no.
One of them is a little bit more delighted to be there. One of them looks like they're ready to help. One of them is
just a water
in a
elemental.
very weird shape, and the other one is just your standard water.
That one
was
doesn't have a
normal.
personality.
Oh man. But
Just
yeah.
average.
I said, oh boy, she has been oh my god, I can't wait to drop all the lore. I get to talk about stuff. And Max, you're gonna be very happy to talk about this. You're gonna be very excited.
I need to work on the guy I said I was going to work on. I haven't done anything yet.
Ah, boy. Well, thank you everybody for all the players who decided to play today, and everybody who's able to join us in the streams on Matt's side and also mine. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'm gonna go break down stream as I am starving, I am hungry, and I am tired. But I'll be right back, guys. Matt, I'm gonna send a raid over to your end, unless you want me to send it to someone else. I just always send it
I
to
would
you.
say I'm a wrap up in a moment here, so feel free to push it on forward to someone that can get some super duper extra use out of it. Somebody who's running their stream live and needs a boost.
Needs a boost. You got it. I will go figure out that. Thank you guys. I'll be right back. Stefan. There we go. Goes to the chilling overlay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? My name is SenseiSuplex. If you guys don't know, I am a professional dungeon master of the sorts. And essentially, oh, that says the 7 souls. That is not right. This is Secrets in the Sands. But essentially, I'm a professional dungeon master that runs a giant persistent universe known as Project Aurora. Exclamation point project mods or anybody of the sorts if you guys can. Basically, Project Aurora, again, is just a massive sort of universe where me and a bunch of other dungeon masters, we all play D&D in the same universe, and all of our sessions can affect each other in big or small ways. That being said, we also run multiple games on this channel, 4 in particular. We run Secrets in the Sands on Sundays, we run Valley of Dreams on Mondays, and then on Friday we have The Ascent, and then Saturdays we have the 7 Souls. Everybody leaves their mark on the sessions, as you can probably tell if you got in here a little bit earlier, as people or the chat can actually reduce or redeem channel points to give out inspiration or even giving out resources, and even to extents change the weather. So that said, everybody leaves their mark. Join the Discord if you want to figure out how you can leave yours. If you want to also get involved with the previous sessions and figure out how everything led to this, go check out the YouTube. We just uploaded the Secrets in the Sands VOD from last week, and we also uploaded a couple of the VODs from the other last week's sessions and more. Go check that out. Also, if you guys want to support me any more than you do, consider checking out the Patreon, pledging there. It does lead or help out significantly. Or, hey, consider subbing to the likes of the channel. I think we're at 69 subs. Nice. And we're trying to hit 80 before the end of next week. So go check that out. Thank you guys again. Right now, what we're going to go do is we're going to go drop a bunch of love and support into somebody's random stream. We're going to go to a Curse of Strahd game because they look pretty sick nasty. Starlight Era is their name, so we're gonna go raid them. All right, let me go get this ready. Starlight Era. Boom. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys when I see you guys. Bye, have a good one.